This is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. Giannis Antetokounmpo remains a member of the Milwaukee Bucks. Yesterday's NBA trade deadline comes and goes, and Giannis stays put in Milwaukee. The Bucks make a couple of moves around Giannis as they try to make a push for the postseason this year. Winners of 2 straight, the homestand continues at Fiserv Forum tonight. The Bucks hosting the Indiana Pacers. Tip time at 7 o'clock. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. I don't know if you've heard, there's a big game on Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday coming up between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Of course, as we look at that, we also look at it through the lens of the Green Bay Packers. ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Demovsky scheduled to appear to share his latest insights on the green and gold for his season finale appearance on Wilde and Tausch coming up at 10:15 this morning right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
It is the Friday edition. I did not see this with my own eyes, but I am told that there was a Wolf of Wall Street post from a certain NBA MVP. I'm not leaving! I'm not leaving! I want to hear more about that edition. The Super Bowl Eve edition. And I need Tausch's help, which is not unusual. I don't know what I'm supposed to think about Josh Jacobs. I'm just about to post a story to channel3000.com about him and the parallel between him and one Aaron Jones, who was absolutely was going to be back in 2024 until he wasn't. Edition of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the incredible ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can download in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, having returned safe and sound from his WIAC Wednesday trip to River Falls.
Good game Wednesday night.
Anybody steal anything from you while you were there?
Steal anything?
A mouse?
Mouses?
No,
mice?
not this time around. No, I think I was the only person staying in the hotel I stayed at overnight.
Ooh. other than Freddy Krueger.
Stayed over up there?
I did. Yeah, it's a 3.5-hour drive.
I didn't know that.
A 3-hour drive.
That's a long drive up there. Almost, you're 30 minutes outside of Minneapolis when you're in River Falls. So it was a long drive. So instead of coming back, getting home at 1:30 in the morning, I was able to stay overnight. And I'm pretty sure I was the only person staying at a 2-story hotel, a decent hotel, in downtown River Falls. I was the only car in the parking lot.
Were you nervous?
Like,
were you concerned that you were in like a bad horror movie?
At first, I thought it was spooky, and then I thought
it was fluky.
And then I thought it was kind of fun. Like, yeah, I got the whole place to myself. This is kind of nice. I don't have to worry about anything. So, yeah, it was nice.
And from his undisclosed location, he did not go to River Falls. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
Morning. Good, buddy. What do you need? What kind of advice do you need today?
Well, so I don't – you know me, unfortunately for you. I don't want to be an alarmist. I don't want to be Johnny Clickbait. You know, you hate the clickbaits. You're not a fan of the clickbaiting. But I've completed, and I'm just in the process of posting my story about Josh Jacobs, and I don't know. I would certainly think he'd be back, and it feels ridiculous given how you want to be able to close games and not choke at the end of games and at the end of seasons. Well, he seems like a guy that's worth keeping around.
How have we closed games with Josh Jacobs?
Well, they didn't close games late in the season, in part because he wasn't healthy, right? Like, look back to 24.
He was healthy. He was healthy in the Bears game. I was told he was the healthiest he's been all season.
Yeah, that's a sliding scale, right? Certainly that's a sliding scale. But look, my point is that we were told 2 years ago about a veteran running back who had been productive, a guy who'd had 5 consecutive 100-yard games,
who
including
had missed
both
half of that
games.
Season and
with an injury,
came in healthy to finish.
Yep.
Yep.
But did not play through the injury. Not that he should have. It was a hamstring pull, but didn't play through the injury. Sat out, got healthy, and then was productive down the stretch.
Came in fresh at the end and had, I think, 5 straight 100-yard games.
He did.
Was awesome. So you think Jacobs is gone? Is that what you're telling me by reading the tea leaves?
I'm not telling you that I think he is gone. I'm telling you that I don't think it's a lock stocker, as you like to call it, that he'll be back.
Well, which way, if you had a pick, which way are you going?
I mean, it's hard for me to think that he's going to be, they're going to move on from him.
Okay.
But again, if we've learned anything from the absolutely that Goody said when he was asked if Josh Jacobs, yeah, absolutely, and then he kind of softened it by saying he wanted him back, about Aaron Jones, we can't necessarily assume. Like, here's what Goody said about Josh Jacobs when he talked to us on Wednesday. Josh is a warrior, really important part of our football team. Everything that he brings to us on the field, in the locker room, he's an important part, and I think he's got a lot of good years left.
Okay.
At no point does he say, and I want him to spend all those good years with us.
Wow.
So should I take that at its face, just like I took what he said about Aaron Jones? He said that on February 1st, 2024. He said this on
very similar.
February 4th, 2026.
Yeah.
What should I think? What should I do?
You're in that room. You tell. Tone and things matter. I don't think it's lock stock that he's back. I think I don't know what his numbers are for this coming year.
I can give you that. His cap
just
number.
Looking at this thing. Okay, go ahead. Give me the numbers.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I thought you'd want that information. His cap number for this season.
You never have this stuff right away. You always have to look.
Well, but I've written the story already, so it's right in front of me.
Fair.
His cap number for this year is $14.54 million.
It's doable.
Aaron Jones's cap number, by the way, for 2024 when they moved off of him and released him was $17 million.
And that was in a less inflated cap. This cap's going to be over $300 million.
Correct.
So $14 million is child's play. It's not popcorn money, but it's brought money. Probably brought money, $14 million.
$10.2 million base salary. So you convert that to some signing bonus.
If you believe in him, I think here's the kind of the rub. Brian Gutekunst, I know he answered the question you asked about 30 years old, and it's definitely a thing. Like if you see a dude who's always dating supple blondes, you're going to say, boy, I think Johnny's going to probably still date a supple blonde. Like that's how it goes. Now, does that mean there's not going to be a brunette that pops up? Maybe there's outliers to everything. This would be an outlier if he ends up playing for a couple more years with Green Bay. And I think part of it is Josh Jacobs, great leader. We have to preface everything, right? This is the year of the preface.
Indeed.
Great leader, tough-nosed running back, but he's not a home run hitter. He's not. And with an offense that is looking for more ways to get people out of that cover 2, Tampa 2, you need to make them pay. And the run game this year didn't make opposing defenses pay. Mm-hmm. And when you get a Christian Watson back, and you're going to see Matthew Goldenmore, who's got world-class speed, teams are going to do this more. You better have answers to that question. And don't get answers in November. Get answers in March and April.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is Josh Jacobs the answer to that? And I think when I look at how this last season played out, I'm going to probably be a no for where it's at. And I'm not putting this only at his doorstep. Lord knows I have been as critical on the offensive line as I've ever been in my 10 years as an analyst on this show. The group wasn't good enough. And Josh Jacobs last year was able to overcome it with the crazy amount of yard after contact that you kept bringing up. He couldn't this year. What did he end up with, 800, 900 yards?
900, exactly 400 fewer yards. He went from 1,329 to 929.
And he was more banged up. So everybody looks at trend lines and looks at because you don't pay people for what they've done. You pay them for what they will do. Is Josh Jacobs an ascending player in this league?
No.
Is he a really good football player still?
Yes.
Is there a value to having him? Yes. I would say if you're going to do this, everybody keeps asking, what about Marshawn Lloyd? If you're counting anything on Marshawn Lloyd next year, that's fool's gold, man.
He's played one game.
Having someone come in that can hit a home run, that can take it to the house, that can bust off 30 and 40-yard runs to loosen up some things as far as what defense are going to do, you're going to need to go more of a platoon, and I mean a legit platoon, of 50-50 than what we've done in the past. Josh Jacobs was the bell cow, is the workhorse. I don't know, going into the 2026 season, I don't want Josh Jacobs to have to take on that big of a load. I would love for him to be on this football team. I don't know what that financial number will be, but I know this. What we did last year ain't good enough in the run game, and Josh Jacobs is a big part of that. So if you're going to run everything back as you did, and I don't know what they're going to be able to do offensive line-wise. I don't know who they're bringing back, but it needs to be markedly better. Josh Jacobs needs to be healthier and more productive than what he was last year.
Yeah, I do look at his production, or his in this past season's case, dip in production, and I do bring up that yards after contact thing because it's ridiculous. Like they have not done him any favors in the run game, and frankly, we probably looked at the Packers' offensive line's run blocking in 2024 in a more favorable light than we should have because of what Josh Jacobs was able to do. But guess what? If you're absorbing that much contact that frequently and that quickly after you get the ball, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get beat up and you're going to be dealing with injuries, right? Because you're taking a lot of punishment. So
you're 28 with a lot of years running that football in Oakland too.
Well, and that was going to be the other part of this equation, right? Because he's a year younger than Aaron Jones was at the time. But in his NFL career, he has been in the league for 7 seasons. He has carried the ball 1,840 times. Plus, he's got 269 receptions. So he's got over
great touchdown catch in that game, too.
It was phenomenal. So he's got over 2,000 touches in his career.
Okay.
Aaron Jones entered the league 2 years earlier, and again, gets a little bit of a bum rap on his injuries because most seasons he played 14, 15, 16, and some years 17 games. Aaron Jones, in his career, has 1,564 carries. He's also got 300 catches, so he's got around 1,800. So even with 2 more years in the league, he has 200 fewer touches. So, yes, Josh Jacobs, high volume back, which means more punishment.
Packers fans that love Josh Jacobs won't love hearing this, but he is not this doesn't fit the mold of what Goody is looking for. It's not.
I think he's got a lot of years left.
Everybody that speaks on him says great things. Locker room guy, everything else, but the NFL, it's about production and what can you do for me now, not what you've done for me lately. I don't know. I just don't see him coming back at this number. I could see Green Bay working through some things, but maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it's just we'll go year to year. I think when he signed, we thought
2 years.
It was going to be a 2-year deal and then figure it out. The cap continues to explode, so that $14 million is not what it was 2 years ago.
You're right.
A percentage of cap, it's really a nothing burger. So if Goody says if he's meaning what he says there, and he thinks that he is a critical part to what they're doing, I wonder if Matt LaFleur, I'm sure he'd say this publicly, but I do wonder if Matt LaFleur wants maybe somebody that's a little more home run hittery. I don't know.
Someone
but
like Marshawn
that is a
Lloyd.
position. That is a position that I would love to see get a little younger, get a little cheaper, and get a lot more explosive. That's what I'd like to see.
Everybody okay over there?
Yeah, it sounded Stella, the Wonder Dog, knocked something over out there in the general basement region. We'll have to check on that in the commercial break. Hey, makes for a great reason to say, hey, Tausch, tell us about Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and the Nari Home Show that she's going to be at soon.
Our homes need to be ready for just about anything in Wisconsin. The cold weather is still here. That's why Pella focuses on quality and durability in everything that they do. Visit Pella at the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show. I think that's next weekend, February 13th through the 15th at Wisconsin State Fair Park, right over Valentine's Day. And I think it's Wilde's birthday. You can celebrate. There's nothing more romantic and sexy than heading to the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show. Head over to booth 420. That's where the big old Pella booth is. And you book that in-home consultation at the show, and you're going to receive a free Design Works rendering. Don't miss out on that 0% financing for 4 years as well. That offer ends on the 28th of February. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
We will talk about Giannis Watch, which ended with Giannis still being a member of your Milwaukee Bucks. I can't wait for our NBA insider, Mark Tauscher, to explain it all to me. That's next while I clean up the mess in the basement. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for the Super Automotive Team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. The name you can trust. Well, the countdown is on to crown another champion in football. And while I sure wish Green Bay was the team that would finish on top, there is another team in Wisconsin that's consistently recognized as being the best of the best, and that's Zimbrick Chevrolet. Year after year, Zimbrick is recognized as a best of Madison operation. And just like the best football teams have to be at their best in all three phases, Zimbrick is great across the board. Whether you're looking for a simple tune-up to keep your vehicle prepared for Wisconsin's winter roads, or you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Zimbrick Chevrolet is truly the name you can trust. Stop in and say hi to some of the friendly faces on Main Street in Sun Prairie, or start searching for what you need from home by logging on to ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Either way, I hope you take some time and discover what this super team I've been telling you about for years at Zimbrick Chevrolet is all about. Consistently recognized as a best of Madison operation, Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie is the name you can trust.
Super Week 2026 on ESPN Radio. The latest news,
Josh McDaniel and his offense, can you hit some big plays?
predictions, and reaction.
Vibes are immaculate. The energy is in the atmosphere. Everybody's getting ready for the big game. It's awesome.
Everybody is so excited to be here.
Seahawks, Patriots.
Cowboys ready! Hell yeah!
Super Week 2026.
This is it. We're here.
Live from San Francisco, California.
On for the touchdown.
Continues on ESPN Radio. Presented by SoFi.
Imagine the peace of mind knowing your home or business is safe 24/7. I'm Jeffrey Beckman, president of J&K Security Solutions, and we provide security you can trust. Serving Madison and southern Wisconsin, J&K Security Solutions offers state-of-the-art home and business security systems tailored to your needs. From video surveillance to home and business automation, to find out how J&K Security can help secure what matters most in your life, visit jksecurity.com.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. Our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. Call 608-220-0005 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. I've been telling you for a while now how much I've loved Pizza Hut since I was a kid, and I love making new memories enjoying it with my family today. Looking for an easy win for lunch or dinner? Pizza Hut's My Hut Box lets you choose your entree. A personal pan pizza, a melt, or now, wings. Boneless or traditional wings start at just $6.99. One box, tons of options, all day, every day. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut, feed good times, and remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Giannis is staying in Milwaukee, but for how long?
And if that's the standard Giannis wants, like I want to be in Milwaukee, but I want to have a chance to win, there's not really a way for that to happen.
Continue reacting right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
If you're listening in Madison, you just heard Big Voice Guy during the commercial break say Giannis is staying in Milwaukee. But for how long? And what will he be doing during the time that he's remaining in Milwaukee? Tausch, I assume you were in no way surprised by the
not at all
outcome. I think you expected it when we talked yesterday.
Yeah, there is a boy. I don't want to use the H word. There is a vitriol in the state of Wisconsin, and maybe even more specifically in the city of Milwaukee.
Oh boy.
Towards the I don't want to say ESPN, but the National Insider operation.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of this has been kind of stirred up really since last summer, but really 2 or 3 years ago. And I think the overall vibe is that this has been a mandate from the league push to get Giannis out of Milwaukee. And I understand why people feel that way. Do I think it's all accurate? I think there's obviously some smoke with what has been done, especially the last 5 or 6 months. Do I think that Giannis moves the needle and draws eyeballs? And I think it was before the draft that it really kind of started spiking up. Yeah, that is true. But when this goes on and nothing happens, that doesn't mean there's not some semblance of they're there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this is all going to play out. I know Giannis talked to Ozarski and Eric Name and let them know, but I don't think a ton has changed. I think this gives maybe the Bucks one last chance by getting a good draft pick and maybe either flipping that into a really good player or finding a way to keep Giannis here long term. I thought Windy, who is part of that conglomerate that I think has a lot of vitriol towards him, I think his point was none of any of this matters until John Horst sits down with Giannis and said, here is your 4-year, $250 million or whatever that number is, extension to be a Buck until you're 36 years old. Are you going to sign that? And if he says no, that will be Giannis's way of saying, I want to be traded. Because he has not, for what we know, he has not done that. So I thought yesterday was much ado about nothing. I was disappointed that Kuz and Bobby and Miles and that we've just kind of kept that group and we didn't do anything big because this group it's just not worked. Even when Giannis is healthy, it hasn't worked.
Right. You're right.
So the Bucks are in a really tough spot, man. And I understand everybody just wants to have Giannis around and keep him, and I'm in that club. But I'm telling you, not in this era, to use a Taylor Swift term, of Giannis, this isn't going to work. Something has to be different in order for it to work, and I don't know what that's going to be. I hope John Horst does. John Horst, if you can say one thing about Johnny, he's going to swing now. He ain't standing up there taking strikes. He'll swing, and he'll swing and miss, and he'll hit a home run. And we've gotten a home run. But we've struck out a lot, too. And unfortunately now the analytics people have come in and said, man, Johnny, that home run was great, but dang, we can't get on base. I mean, we're striking out at a real high clip, and it ain't good. What are we doing? And I don't know. You can't just go get a bunch of, contact hitting, oppo field slapping fools to come in here and get some guys on. You need another double or triple at a minimum, and I'm not sure where we're going to find that. So I think, if anything, I'm glad we didn't just dump Giannis because he wanted to be traded or he didn't to Minnesota and we get back some assets that aren't worth a lick. If we're going to move him, it better be big time. And I love the fact that even though there was all this pressure, we didn't do something dumb just to do it. That's my takeaway from yesterday.
And I don't want to compare him to Rodgers, but because it's apples to oranges. But when we look back at 2022, which was a crummy season, right? They moved on from Devontae. They had a bunch of young guys. Rodgers was frustrated. He said he didn't want to go through a rebuild. I understand you make a great point that the Bucks are in a very tough spot, especially when you think about how they've stretched the Dame contract and where their first-round picks are. But is there any way – because I thought, I had a couple people text me that know way, way, way more about the NBA than I do. And they sounded a little bit like Evan Cohen with kind of putting together these ideas of you can do this and you can do this and you can do this. And perhaps, while it may take a little while, it won't take forever, and you can get back to being, with Giannis as your centerpiece, a really good team if you make the right moves. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I don't know. I'm not going to stay. I hate people that do this job and pretend that they know more than they do. I don't know. But I do know people that know more than I do, and they think that it is possible. I don't know if it's likely, but it's possible. That if you make the right moves and you move the right people to get some draft capital and you pick the right guys, that's a lot of ifs that I just ran through. I get it. But if Aaron Rodgers looked back today, and I understand he enjoyed playing for Mike Tomlin, and we'll see what he plans on doing in 2026. But do you think there's any part of him, this is the question I would have asked had I not screwed up the Zoom call with him in October, is there any part of him that thinks, if I'd have just handled everything differently in 2022, maybe I really could have kept Jordan Love on the bench, and maybe I'd play my whole career as a Packer? Like, do you think there's any thought that crosses his mind that way at any point? Because that feels a little bit like a cautionary tale that would be worth considering if you're in Giannis's situation.
No, that's not how he approached it. It's just, I don't think it's hard for us, and I'm including myself as a former athlete that was not elite to the level that these guys are. I don't think we can get inside their heads. I understand their mindset, but there's something different. And it's, I think, one of the reasons that Tom Brady is saying he ain't got a dog in the fight. You're never going to hear a really average NFL player say, if they've played 20 years for somebody and won championships, that they don't have a dog in the fight. Like that's just absurd to us. Mm-hmm. Because they're wired in a way that everything is slighted and everything is a certain way. And Giannis is a good dude. But I think he's wired, and I think he's obviously wired differently than a Brady or a Rodgers or any of these other NFL guys. But going back to Rodgers, no, there is no way. He had it in his mind the moment they drafted Jordan Love and he was sipping on scotch that his time was coming to an end, and it was going to be, whether it was by his doing or somebody else's, it was going to happen. And he had more in him to go and show others you blanked up than it was to just win at a consistent level where you were and almost benefit the people that you felt slighted you. That just ain't going to happen. That's not how these guys are wired, man. So in Giannis's case, he hasn't been slighted. He feels like I don't know how Giannis can look at this and say that John Horst hasn't given everything he possibly. They have emptied their coffers. They've emptied their draft picks. They've done everything.
Emptied their buckets.
And unfortunately, Yanni got hurt a couple times in some key playoff games that we maybe had shots at winning chips. The Toronto series, we didn't close up shop. There are things, and that's sports. So you got one, and you should feel great about that. And now I think he is really pondering, and I just think there is a big part of him that doesn't want to give in to what all the pundits are saying. He is the opposite of Rodgers, as a matter of fact. Yeah. I think he wants to prove he can do what Kobe did. But I think in his heart of hearts, he knows he's not going to be able to here. And that's where his torn line is. And he would love to tell Shams and Wendy and everybody else, blank off, I can do it again here. The opposite of where Rodgers was like, blank you, you've drafted my replacement, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely opposite. And I think in Giannis's case, he's really struggling with the fact that this is what his last breath, this is what he really wants. But I think he's starting to realize he's out in that deep sea, and he doesn't know how he's going to get back. He doesn't know he's going to get to shore. I don't know how good of a swimmer he is. That's a question that somebody else.
Wait, are we combining his situation with Robert Saleh and being taken out
Yes.
to deep water?
He's out there, and he is doing everything in his power to stay and win here. But he looks back at the lighthouse, and he's like, I don't know if I can get there, man. There's a little buoy right here that can get me to Golden State or to Minnesota. I can jump on this buoy, and a boat will pull me in. And, man, that's a lot easier way to do it. LeBron it, if you will. He wants to Kobe it, but the easy way is to LeBron it. He's built like Kobe. He wants to be like Kobe, but he also realizes this ain't going to end well. If I'm swimming 6 miles back to the lighthouse when this buoy's right here, I just jump on it. That's where Giannis is right now.
You seem to really enjoy the word buoy.
It's a fun word, but it's true.
Really fun word.
Just waiting for a boat to pick him up.
You guys tell me where I'm wrong on this.
Look, now, again, I don't – and I always want to caution on this. You know, even the guys I cover, we don't really know them as well as we would like to think we know them. So all that sounded great, right? I've never even met Giannis. I don't know. Like, I read everything that he said to Jim Ozarski. I read everything that he said to Eric Name. I think part of him believes everything he said there. Do I think that there's also part of him that is hedging, which obviously I can respect, to try and avoid being the bad guy if and when he does depart? I do. But again, I don't know him, so I can't make a value judgment on that. But when I read both those pieces, kind of like I just talked about with what Goody said about Josh Jacobs, like, they don't ever fully paint themselves into corners. And Goody kind of did with the Aaron Jones thing when his answer was, do you expect Aaron Jones to be back? And he said, yeah, absolutely. And then after he said the word absolutely, then he tried to walk it back a little bit. But absolutely was already out in the ether. So Giannis has not put himself into a corner like baby.
I think that's why he doesn't want to do press. You think
Maybe.
that's why he doesn't like doing it?
And then if I,
no,
I just wish I could remember what he lied
there's no
about.
maybe. That is why he doesn't. He doesn't because of that.
But is that our fault?
Kinda.
He's the one who chose to say it.
I know, but then he backtracked, and that's not what gets played, right? Like I understand why Goody does what he does.
I think I accurately portray what he says. Be that as it may, bottom line is Giannis has not painted himself into a corner, nor should he. I'm not saying he should. But do I think he's going to end up being traded in the offseason still? I do. I hope I'm wrong. But again, that's not based on any insight we can.
Why do you hope you're wrong?
Because I like the idea of a guy. Like, look, my all-time favorite athlete at any level in any sport is Robin Yount. And he spent his entire career with the Brewers. And there's something about that, being able to do that. You did it. Driver did it. Leroy
I don't
Butler
think that
did
holds the same cachet.
I don't think it does. Right. You asked why I hope he stays.
No, but I know, but I just don't think that matters like it used to.
You're probably right. Who remembers Joe Namath with the Chargers?
No, that's where when everybody talks about it, like the way guys are playing longer and longer, it's just inevitable that the greats aren't going to play their whole career with the same team. It's just not going to happen anymore. And I think we should get our head wrapped around that and say that's okay. I don't mind if Giannis can help us rebuild this franchise quicker and efficiently by getting all the assets and getting the right assets. We should all embrace that. The problem is if he doesn't, going to be some dark days here.
Yeah. Very dark, in fact, potentially.
But I am not going to look at, if Giannis goes to the Phoenix Suns in a year, I am not going to look at him as a Phoenix Sun. I'm going to say thank you, because the sports business just changed completely. The model has changed. The idea of having one player stay for 22 years now, it's absurd. It's not going to happen.
I understand. You asked me what I wanted. I gave you my answer. But you're right about everything you said after that.
I didn't tell you you're an idiot. I didn't say, boy, you're wrong, Jason. I'm saying it's just not the way the world is. So for Giannis, I guess the question I have for Bucks fans is, if things aren't going to change, which I don't know how they will. I've heard all we could trade this, we could do this, but even if we keep Giannis and he plays 10 more years here and $500 million, and we at best are a 6 or a 7 seed with no hope to win a championship, are we really that excited to keep Giannis?
Well,
I don't know the answer.
To be fair,
because he ain't going to get healthier as he gets older.
Right, and how much I understand the game changed and they expanded the playoffs eventually in baseball. But Robin Yount went to a World Series in 1982 and never even went to the playoffs again, right? He suffered through some very bad Brewers years in the later 80s. He won another MVP in 89. Was it the 92 team that was close to getting into the playoffs and winning the division, I think? And then he retired after the 93 season. You're right. And I don't know, maybe I'll text Robin and we'll have him on to talk about how that's a bygone era. And if he played now, would he have played for someone else, right? Because I think you're definitely right that the calculus has changed. I am still hung up on a calculus from the 60s, man, where guys spent their entire careers in one place, and I do think that's neat.
Yeah.
I mean, look, okay, you're not telling me you're not telling me I'm an idiot. You're just telling me to get over it.
No, I'm not going to say you're an idiot, but why does that
ever implying?
I guess
I'm an idiot.
Jesse, does it matter? Does it matter to sports fans now if somebody stays their last 3 years where they're not even really great?
Oh wait, all right. Hey,
does it matter?
No, stop. Let's do this.
What?
Let's put a poll in the field. We can ask Jesse what he thinks personally, but he can't speak for sports fans.
But he's a sports fan.
He's one sports fan.
You're not even a fan.
Yeah,
you're not a fan.
You can.
He can speak
That's
for
true.
himself.
As a sports fan. He loves the state of Wisconsin as well. He is a sports fan.
Right. And you asked, do sports fans, plural, he's one sports fan. What does he think? And then let's take some calls. Let's see if they agree or disagree with him. It's a Friday. We always take calls on Friday.
I have no problem. By the way, the Rodgers going and playing at 2 other spots, I don't have a problem at all with it. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. He's always going to be a Packer. If Giannis leaves, he's always going to be a Buck. I love his time. It's fine. I don't mind. It isn't like oh, my God, you fell on the sword and you stayed for another 7 years, even though we stunk and we didn't win jack.
Well, no one wants you to stink, though. That's not fair.
What do you mean?
Well, he would stay with the hopes of getting it figured out so they don't stink, and maybe he wins another title. Like, didn't Brady have a huge gap in his Super Bowl titles, if I recall correctly?
They were knocking on championship door every year he was there.
I'm just saying,
every year.
He went a long time without
if we're being honest about Giannis, we haven't knocked at a door in a long time. Like that,
in
the
large
door
part
knocker
because of injuries in the postseason.
The door knocker
They
is
were
rusted
at the door.
shut. Nobody's even. There ain't no ring doorbell. There ain't nothing. Is there? Like that door hadn't been touched.
You just said yourself.
Broken.
He got because of some injuries to him. They might have had
That's
championship teams.
That's sport. Yeah, but it didn't.
But they were.
When's the last time? When's the last time the Bucks?
doorstep?
When's the last time they knocked? No, they were at the doorstep, but they weren't even. They didn't even knock on the door because the door knocker was too heavy or rusted shut. When was the last time the Bucks knocked at a door?
Labrum knocking.
They just left the package there, took a picture, and emailed it to the NBA and left. They didn't even knock.
I would argue 2022 is the last time they knocked at a door.
When they were the 1 seed and they got upset by the Heat.
That was 22.
In the first round.
That's the hot potato series.
Hot potato series, yeah. That was the last
That
time.
was the last. That's the last time we didn't even get the door knocker to hit the door. We at least lifted it, but it stayed. It didn't. It was rusted so bad it didn't hit the door on the way there.
We
lifted it up, and it was either too heavy or it was rusted, and it didn't even hit the door, and it ended up a hot potato. Nobody wanted to shoot, and then we traded for Dame, and now he's stretched, and we're blah.
All right, first of all,
that's the reality of the situation.
Again, facts matter. The Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA title in 2021. In 2022, they won their opening series over the Bulls and then lost in 7 games to the Celtics.
Yes, that could have been a good one.
Okay, so it's 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then in 2023,
so we definitely
was the Giannis injury year, right?
That was the Heat, I think.
And they lost
the Heat
4 games to 1 to the Heat in the first round.
Hot potato.
Hot potato. Yep.
Okay, so now there's only 2 seasons since then. One of them was they lost in the first round to the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
And who all was hurt in that series?
They all took turns.
Like everybody got hurt, right?
Yeah, everybody did a little something.
And then there was last year when they didn't have Giannis, and then Dame ruptured his Achilles in that series. Yep. So they've been in the vicinity of the Ring doorbell more than we're probably
2022 was a full-on knock. 23 is where the door knocker rusted shut, and we have not been able to get enough WD-40 to get that thing to hit a door.
Okay.
It is literally rusted right there, clawed, and I don't know when it's going to move again.
Do you care if your sports heroes spend the entirety of their career with your team?
Great question.
Carbless Talk and text line 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and text line. This is more. Tausch is going to tell us about Hard Rock Casino Rockford, which we're planning another trip down there. I don't know if Barry Alvarez is going to go with us when we go, but we're headed down there again. And look, do you feel, before you tell us about Hard Rock, is your career slightly more special because you spent it all with your home state team, or no? Like if you had finished up with the Eagles for a year, would you feel any differently? Probably. I don't know. You tell me. It's your career.
Okay. I'll tell you next after I tell you about Hard Rock Casino Rockford.
That's what I'm looking for.
60 minutes down the road. Beautiful guitar out front. Live music. They got great entertainment. Great slots. Table gaming. And a great sports book with all kinds of great food options. I'm sure they're going to have some fun stuff going on for the big game coming up. Jesse and I had a heck of a time. We went down there a few times, did some fun shows, had some good lunches. We thought we had some good slips that were going to give us some big-time cash. That turned out to not work, but, boy, we still had a great time. And now, High Limit Room. Head on down. They have a great experience down there. Premium table games tailored for discerning players. Enhanced game rules. Blackjack where the dealer will stand on that soft 17 to get better odds. The kind of authentic high-limit action that will set the Hard Rock Casino Rockford apart. Your next hand could be your best yet. Visit the High Limit Room at Hard Rock Casino Rockford and rediscover your game on your terms, in your rhythm, and with your edge.
Tausch will tell us if his career is more special because he was a Packer and only a Packer. And we'll take your calls on the Carbless Talk and text line 844-770-3776. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The Bucks keep Giannis at the deadline.
The only way Giannis stays is if Giannis sees a path to a championship.
Stay up to date on Giannis's future in Milwaukee right here on Madison's home of the Bucks. 100.5 ESPN.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member-first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Your seat at the table just got better. Step into the high-limit room at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. This is true high-limit play. Experience enhanced game rules, including blackjack where the dealer stands on soft 17. Better odds, faster play, and authentic action that sets Hard Rock Casino Rockford apart. Your next hand could be your best yet. Find your edge, play your rhythm, and raise the stakes in the high-limit room at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
There's never been a better time to experience Pella in person and get all your questions answered. Join us at the NARI Spring Home Improvement Show, February 13th through the 15th at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a free DesignWorks rendering. Rest easy with Pella's 10-year limited warranty and get 0% interest for up to 48 months. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You said yes. You set a date.
Now comes the pressure of choosing a ring you'll wear every single day, forever.
That's why Chalmers Jewelers is hosting our Wedding Band Trunk Show.
Join us February 20th in Madison and the 21st and 22nd in Middleton.
Every wedding band vendor will be in-house, bringing their entire lineup. More styles and designs than your Pinterest board can handle.
Appointments are filling up fast, so reserve your spot now.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious. With multiple engine options and impressive towing, while Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability.
Nice.
Making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident.
And from now through February 10th, our listeners get 40% off all Iron Jock orders over $50 with the code SUPER40. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, will Sam Darnold finally put the ghost narrative to bed and lift the Lombardi Trophy, or will Drake May lead the Pats to title number 7? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
We'll hold off on our big game preview for a little bit later. Let's get to a couple of calls here.
I'm excited now. I'm fired up for the big game. It took me a while. Last weekend not having ball, it was so cold and kind of. I'm fired up for Sunday. I think it's gonna be a fun one. So I'm back in. I'm all in. Good.
Glad to hear it.
At?
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
Nothing.
You don't smile that much. Why? No,
That's not true. I smile all the time.
Your tip. You're typically a lot frumpier than that. So no, that was
Wait a minute now.
Like,
you
I
claim
saw
you're not
full.
calling
You
me an
usually don't
idiot.
go full teeth.
Well, you were kind of calling
Usually,
me an idiot.
you're not a full teeth smiler. That was a full teeth smile. Did you get some dental work done?
No,
you get some. You got.
I didn't.
It looks like you got some veneers on those front teeth
I
there,
don't.
big
I
fella.
can't. That's not in the budget. No, I don't have the money for that.
Not in the budget. And that Channel 3000 cash coming in. Come on,
He got two jobs. I mean, it's not in the budget.
2 jobs. Don't you ever sell him short, Jell.
And I heard
2 jobs.
eBay's advertising on ESPN Radio now, so they're a proud partner. So we got, yeah.
I have to figure out. We got so many boxes of small shoes that we got to get rid of, and I'm in the market now for anybody. I need a garage organizer. I need someone to come in and organize our garage. Well, I do.
Okay. Could we get to the calls?
Oh, no. One of our calls hung
And
up.
it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if our basement got organized either, but that's another story. Get some pictures hung up on the wall. More than what we have. Outside of that, everything's good.
We're teetering on Ed Helm sucks territory here.
Jesse, which caller is still there?
Sparky is still here. Can I say what Paul was going to
Tell us
say?
what Paul was going to say since we lost Paul while Tausch was asking if I got veneers.
Why did we
since
lose
yesterday.
Paul? What happened to Paul?
Anything good. I don't know.
No idea.
Maybe he was a little impatient.
Discussing my dental work.
Paul's point was interesting comparison in segment 1 of our show today. We're talking about the Packers keeping Josh Jacobs as a veteran leader, a proven winner, or at least someone who theoretically is a proven winner, leading a team, veteran presence. And then in the next segment, we're talking about the Bucks, who have that in Giannis, but wanting to move on from him and go young and rebuild it. Interesting how we compare those two. How can we say both things are true for both of those different franchises?
Well, I don't think the Bucks want to move on from him. I don't think that's true.
No,
I
don't.
They will if they have to. Whereas I'm not going to say Goody wants to move on from Josh Jacobs. I think Goody wants Josh Jacobs at a much lower price tag. I think there's a good chance of that. But I'm not going to say he wants to move on. All right, well, let's get to one call here. That's all. And talk to Sparky in Sussex. Sparky, good morning, buddy. Has the Yule log been extinguished for the year? It's great to hear from you.
Oh, no, that weather is cold out there. You got to stay warm all year.
Indeed.
Yeah, keep that Yule log burning. Absolutely.
So, I guess I like my players to stick around. Like you, Jason, my favorite player of all time was Robin Yount. He was here for a long time. We're just about the same age, so it's kind of like we grew up together. But it seems like, and maybe it's generational. I see my wife's nephews all in their 20s, and they don't, have that same affinity for players like I guess I grew up with or have had for years. And I know with me, NIL has had something to do with that lately because, of course, I'm a Badger fan, Marquette fan, but I used to watch a lot of college basketball. But now I don't know any of the players because they're there for a year, and then they're gone, either to pros or to another school. And I don't know how you build up that loyalty to, I guess not loyalty, but, you like to follow a player, especially, those guys who you go, man, my God, he's been here for 5 years. And now in college football, they could be there for 6 or 7, but I still don't know them because they jump around. So, again, maybe it's generational, but I like to build up that allegiance with a player and feel like he's my guy. So,
yeah, we're dinosaurs. We just are. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think, and especially since we both, and I knew that about you. As soon as I saw Jesse had your name up, I figured that was going to be your take because, yeah, I mean, Robin's the best. But I would be curious what Robin Yount thinks when he looks at today's baseball and
Let me
sports
ask you,
landscape.
and is Sparky gone?
No, he's still
Jesse?
here. We still got him.
Let me ask you this. Robin played how many years in Milwaukee? 20. Yep. So if you're telling me he played 19 years in Milwaukee, but he played 1 in Toronto, you would not have that same affinity for Robin Yount?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it makes it's different.
Okay.
What about you, Sparky?
Yeah, I feel the same. I think it's kind of like Molitor. I mean, I think he left kind of circumstances. I think Bandel called him just another third baseman or something like that.
Yep. Yep. He didn't want to leave.
Yep. Sometimes you're forced. Circumstances dictate, and I think that may be the case with Giannis, just because if we can't put a team around him, he wants to win. I get it. I'm not happy, but I certainly understand in this case.
Yeah, I just think that we are outliers now. I'm guessing people of our age and older view it this way, but I think you're right. And your point about NIL, really good call, Sparky. We appreciate you calling in. I have struggled with college sports now for the last several years. Like you don't know who's going to be on the team. Like our buddy Evan Cohen would always say, most Badgers fans, they know the quarterback and the coach. Well, we're going to be on our, fifth different quarterback in 5 years? A lot of times you don't even know the quarterback anymore. So I think that's a good point. Jesse, what has Brandon in Tulsa sent in? Usually he calls. So unique that he's using the text line.
Yeah, longer text, but a good text. And this is kind of what Sparky was saying at the end of his call, too. If the franchise I root for is doing my favorite player a disservice by how they handle him or her, then I do not want them staying. It's why I wanted Devontae to win a ring this year. Would it have been nice for Rodgers to stay in Green Bay? Yes, but Goody wanted him gone, and frankly, this team was no longer built for Rodgers. So, no, I don't want my favorite player staying forever, no matter what. From Brandon in Tulsa.
Yeah. And, look, there are instances, and you mentioned Kobe earlier, where a player, wins titles, right? He had the titles with Shaq. And then what did he do? He won 2 more post-Shaq, but there was a gap in between that, right? Yep. I think, again, maybe it's a little bit old school, but I do think that there's a greater respect, and I thought you nailed it with the Kobeing it versus LeBroning it. Like, I think there's a greater respect if you stick around through the hard times and then you succeed again.
No doubt. But that's different than it kind of being that cycle ending and you wanting to keep playing, somebody wanting you, and your current team is, like, moving forward, a la Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers. I just feel that's different. And the money is obviously a lot different, but teams don't let their stars go in their prime, but they will let them go at the end. And I don't have the I loved Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken played his whole career. Mm-hmm. Would Cal Ripken play his whole career now? Derek Jeter found a way to do it. Mm-hmm. It's impressive, and I do think there should be a little star next to those guys that do it. But I am not going to take away from anyone's career if they end up a little cash grabby, wanting to finish their career on their terms because it has to be somewhere else, or to prove a point to the team because you felt like you got slighted.
Yeah.
And in most cases, guys don't get slighted. They feel like they do, they want to, but in most cases it doesn't end well. And I'm okay with that. And I'm all right with guys grabbing that last check on the way out the door.
We'll get to a few of more of your thoughts on this. Again, 844-770-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. Less is more. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Roses are red, mountains are blue, have a Coors Light or two. Mark Tauscher here, and nothing says Happy Valentine's Day to me like the Blue Mountains of cold, refreshing Coors Light. And whether you're tailgating pregame, cracking one open during the game, or celebrating a big win after the game, or you just need a moment to chill, crack open a Rocky Mountain cold Coors Light. Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, co-filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it's actually made to chill. The mountains on Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans turn blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection, which besides the refreshing taste, is my favorite thing about drinking Coors Light. Refreshingly cold and only 102 calories. Coors Light is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company at Golden, Colorado.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. The Jump Around crew playing the schedule game collectively agreeing on a winning record for Wisconsin football in 2026. Riley Yauk backing the Badgers, but also expressing cautious optimism ahead of a make-or-break season for Luke Fickell.
This is the easiest schedule you could possibly get. So if Fickell can't get 8 wins this year, I don't think he's ever going to get 8 wins at Wisconsin. This has to be the year to turn it around.
Do you fire him if he gets less than 8?
7, I keep him, but I'm not happy. 6, he's got to go. Get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. With exclusive features and customized for every home, Pella provides the highest quality products at a price you can afford. Go to PellaWI.com. PellaWI.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
At Associated Bank, we know running a business is tough enough, so our business is making your business banking easy. That's why we make sure it speaks your language. Business and consumer-linked accounts? How about all your banking all in one place with one login account? $50 overdraft grace zone? Think of it as a I never said I was a CFO grace zone. And maintenance fee-free account? Well, free is always good. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Happy New Year and happy new engagement. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. You have heard me talk about corporate, fundraising, and even casino events, but we are also amazing wedding DJs. Never cheesy and always the perfect fit for the perfect couple. Please let us help you narrate your wedding day love story while playing an amazing soundtrack that will rock your dance floor. Create lifelong memories of your one special day. Do it right and do it with CelebrationsEntertainment.com. That's CelebrationsEntertainment.com.
What's new at Zimbrick Chevrolet? A lot. A free car wash with every service, plus a brand new detail facility to keep your ride looking fresh all year long. Relax with coffee and snacks while you wait, and if you can't, grab one of their numerous service loaners, take the shuttle, or even get a lift on them. Plus, Zimbrick Chevrolet has the largest new Chevrolet inventory in southern Wisconsin, and you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
We're on the Packers.
This 2 or 3 year window needs to yield a championship.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
When you bring back everybody, Mr. Policy is telling you we're winning a championship.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Let's get one more text on this, and then we'll check in on the poll that Jesse put in the field a little bit later. Jesse, I saw Gériard's name, Frenchie in Canton. What did he have to say?
As a kid, yes, I always wanted long-tenured guys to stay their whole career with one team, but that's not the way things are anymore with the way money has exploded. As long as they don't go to a rival, you do you. Sports feels more like a business than ever before. It's from Gériard in Canton, Ohio. I was with my dad yesterday, my real dad, Usher George, and he said the same thing, that sports...
You're not even loyal to your own dad. You look for a different dad.
But he said the same thing, though. We were talking about the Super Bowl and the Packers and some other Giannis, and he was saying the same thing, that it just feels more like a business now than ever before as a fan consuming the product of all different sports. College football, NBA, NFL, everything.
Will
It's
Jordan
not gonna
Love
get
play
less businessy?
Will Jordan Love play for a different team in his career? Will Josh Allen?
Yep.
Yeah. Like my point is,
Mahomes?
Now your default setting is to assume that everyone will play somewhere else, and you and Leroy Butler and Donald Driver and Robin Yount will become more and more outliers.
Well, thank you for throwing me in that group. If guys have opportunities to continue to play and their current team doesn't believe that they should, they're going to continue to play. Now, I think it's more likely guys will Aaron Donald and retire earlier than they have to because they can, and maybe there will be more, but it will not be. You'll see more elite players retire before a year, like Barry Sanders, than you will see guys like Tom Brady. I don't think the Josh Allens and the Patrick Mahomeses. Maybe those guys at the top tier, and because quarterbacks is just a different animal. NFL players outside of quarterbacks are going to play less because they're being paid more, if that makes sense.
No, it does. You need to tell us about UW Credit Union and your membership there.
I do indeed, and for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And people ask me, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, you want to keep your banking local. Great member first service, great perks, and I love the fact it doesn't matter where you go, what campus, you're going to see UW Credit Union out in the community. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you can't pay with anything else. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. You know, I've loved Pizza Hut since I was a kid, and now I love making new memories, enjoying it with my family today. For a limited time, Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker Pizza is just $10. An extra-large pizza with 6 huge foldable slices and bold New York-style flavor. Big size, big value, and just $10. Order right now on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut, feed good times. For a limited time, order a Big New Yorker Pizza for just $10. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Giannis stays in Milwaukee, at least for now. The NBA trade deadline comes and goes yesterday afternoon, and despite a flurry of reports over the last week, Giannis remains with the Milwaukee Bucks, at least for the remainder of this season. Plenty of reaction to the fallout from the trade deadline throughout the day. Yesterday afternoon, this morning on ESPN Wisconsin. Check it all out on the ESPN Wisconsin app and over on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. The Bucks are in action tonight. Hey, they've won 2 straight. Starting that playoff run, hosting the Indiana Pacers. 7 o'clock tip tonight, pregame at 6:30 on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. Of course, Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst speaking earlier this week. The latest insights from Titletown. ESPN NFL Nation Packers reporter Rob Demovsky scheduled to appear in about 10 minutes on Wilde and Tausch here on 100.5 in the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Wilde and Tausch continues right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now with Rob Demovsky scheduled to appear coming up. I think this was a good conversation. I appreciate where folks are coming from. I understand that I might be a little antiquated in my view. but I still think that there's something special about being able to spend your entire career in one place, and it's going to be less and less frequent as we move forward. So we talked to Goody earlier this week, and as I said earlier in the week on our show,
By the way, before, just to put a bow on that,
baby, bow it.
You said it's more generational. Think about this. I think most people of a certain age, you are much more likely to go to a company and work 50 years at that company, get a watch, and call it a day. And in today's job, climate, market, etc., that ain't ever happening. Nobody does that. Everybody is, and especially when you start talking about 35 and under, people are always looking to jump and to boop and to move, and that is probably a direct correlation to sports and life. That's my bow.
No, it's a good point. I probably would have spent my entire career writing for the State Journal if things had played out differently too. So you're right. But again, I'm antiquated. I'm a throwback for sure. So when
took
we
the big free agency deal instead of staying loyal, it's tough. I get it.
Yeah, free agency deal was more like a buyout. And then I was released like Aaron Jones the second time.
You were like old boy Nigel, who is no longer a Buck, I don't believe, right?
Wait, Nigel Hayes is gone?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they released him.
He was on the Sam Decker.
About as short as Sam Decker.
Yeah.
So, by the way,
Nigel, same career in Milwaukee.
So we got a message, or I got a message from Ron in the Key, who, is never going to miss a chance to think he's correcting us. But he's like, Sam Decker was never a Buck. Like, it was a 3-team trade. Right, but the way it was reported that day during the show, he was traded to the Bucks. And then I saw this with yesterday's trade with the Bucks, right? Shams then updated it with, well, it's actually a 3-team trade. That's what happened with Sam. But for about a half hour, we thought Sam was going to be a Buck because that's how it was initially reported. So now Sam Decker and Nigel Hayes both share the memorable Bucks careers that lasted less than an hour or two. So, that's disappointing. I was kind of excited about that.
It does suck. It would be nice to get him at least some run down there at Fiserv.
Why not? Where the season's going, what's the point not to? All right, we'll talk a little bit about Goody and talking about the struggles in December and January that he talked about on Wednesday with Rob Demovsky, who's going to join us coming up. Have you asked Rob if he's checked out the Pickler yet? He seems like he'd be a racket sports guy.
I don't know if he is, but he should. He should have went at the 1-year anniversary, but he could go at the 1-year, 1-week anniversary this weekend if he wants. And if he wants those free play clinics, got to head down to Menominee Falls, but he can get it down there too. Noon tomorrow.
Well, tell us more.
Oh, all right. I thought you're transitioning right away. I love it. The Pickler, Menominee Falls, right off of Appleton Avenue. Indoor pickleball spot. Weather, not an excuse. It's built for everybody, beginners, former athletes, anyone just trying to move more. When do we ever do a 2.5-minute segment, unless it's the end of the show?
Because Demovsky.
When do we ever do that? No, I understand, but when do we ever do a 1.5-minute segment, unless it's to get to Rich Eisen 10 minutes late?
The end of the show would love to have a 1.5 minutes.
We are always on Mondays now going to make sure we're out by 11:58 like we're supposed to, because free learn-to-play clinics Monday and Saturday right at noon in the Pickler, Menominee Falls. No experience, no gear. They're going to teach you everything. You're going to get that workout. You meet people. And I tell you, this is how it goes. I don't know. What kind of workout do you get? You're even going to get a sweat. You're going to get a ton of steps in for all you pedometer-wearing people. You're going to end up meeting a bunch of cool folks. You're going to end up coming back, and you're going to come back again, and you're going to end up with, oh, look at this. I just found a great community of people that love doing what I do, and we get to hang out and have a great time socially, too. That's what the Pickler is all about, and that's so much so we said, Menominee Falls, let's get one in West Allis as well. So that's going to be coming on site pretty soon as well. Stop in at the Pickler, Menominee Falls. Contact the club directly online at thepickler.com. That's PICKLR.com.
I didn't mean to catch you by surprise there. I figured maybe you would follow the breadcrumbs about the reference to the pickler.
We got there. I've never at the top of an hour ever done where we've done a minute and a half segment. We'd never done that.
I think it might have been a little longer than that, but your point is well taken. Rob Demovsky of ESPN joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and it is your chance to win Free Food Friday right now from Pizza Hut here at ESPN Madison. Caller number 12 right now at 844-770-3776 wins your own Free Food Friday from Pizza Hut. 844-770-3776. Caller number 12 wins Free Food Friday at ESPN Madison, courtesy of Pizza Hut. For a limited time, Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker Pizza is just $10. An extra large pizza with 6 huge foldable slices and bold New York-style flavor. Big size, big value, and just $10. Order right now on the Pizza Hut app in time for the big game on Sunday, or do it on pizzahut.com as well. Pizza Hut, feed good times. For a limited time, order the Big New Yorker Pizza for just $10. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Caller number 12 right now, 844-770-3776 wins Free Food Friday from Pizza Hut.
I don't know this guy's contract status. I don't know if we signed him to a multi-year deal. But again, maybe it works like Josh Jacobs, and we don't know, even though he's under contract. Well, I expect all these guys to be back. They're under contract. But for this season, we bid farewell today to ESPN's Rob Demovsky in his final appearance of the year. Rob, good morning. How are you?
Well, my contract says I'm supposed to be on at 10:15, and it's now 10:23, so I guess you're running out of time.
All right, Rob, we appreciate your time. We'll let you go. I know you've got other
feisty
things
Demovsky
to do.
is my favorite Demovsky. I love it. We should have got to him a little bit later. He'd even be more pissed off. That's what I really wanted.
We would have, and you complaining about the fact that I
That's on
made
That's
a
on me,
Rob.
Rob.
1.5 minute segment.
This one's on me. This one's on me.
Rob, you started your career with the Green Bay Press-Gazette. Now you've been at ESPN for over a decade. How do you feel about players spending their entire careers in one place? Is that an old, antiquated view of sports?
Man, Jason, considering college athletes don't spend 4 years in one place anymore and sometimes don't spend 2 years in one place, it probably is antiquated. I think it's pretty cool. But, I mean, I guess we're old school and we don't think that way anymore. I would like to think that most players would want to do that, assuming they're with a good organization, right? Like, I mean, if you're Myles Garrett, you want to spend your entire time in Cleveland. I mean, the guy won Defensive Player of the Year last night, and what does he have to show for it from a team standpoint? I guess you go home January 2nd every year. So it's a good question. I guess it sort of depends on what your situation. What your situation is.
Yeah, and our friend Joe Thomas went through the same thing in Cleveland. Your former neighbor Bruce Sutter pitched 12 years in the majors.
Cubs and Cardinals, right?
5 with the Cubs, 4 with the Cardinals, 3 with the Braves. If you're curious,
I don't remember the Braves at all.
The last 3 years of his career, his save numbers with the Braves: 23, 3, and 14. So that would be why you don't remember.
That's probably why I don't remember.
Let's start with Goody. And I do want to start with, because I'm about to post my story, and I'm curious what you thought, because I don't like you as much as I used to, but I still respect your opinion. I'm curious what you think. What you think
You
of
two
Josh
are the
Jacobs?
odd couple, man. You two are the odd couple. I don't know who's who, because I don't even know the odd couple, but you two are the odd couple.
What do you think of Josh Jacobs' situation? What are your expectations for him this
I think he'll
season?
be back. I think he'll be back, Jason, under a restructured contract. And I think if you look at the deal, that was sort of always the way it was going to be with him. It was always sort of a 2-year deal because, he got a $12 million signing bonus. He made, I think, $22 million in the first 2 years of a $48 million deal. And then this year it spikes. The base salary goes from 1.17 to 10.2 this year and 12.2 next year. The cash isn't necessarily different because he had all those bonuses early on, but the way it's structured is massively different. So when you see a guy that, his base salary increases by almost 10 times what it was the year before, that's just going to be a restructure. And I do think the way that Josh has performed and the way he has been in the locker room and the way he has been a leader and durable, playing through things, even though he was banged up, I think the Packers value that. And here's the other thing, Jason, there's nobody else, man. If you're waiting on Marshawn Lloyd, you might be waiting as long as I was waiting for you guys to come back from break. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, there's no, if you're relying on Marshawn Lloyd, that's a fool's errand. So, and as much as Emmanuel Wilson has been a really good backup, he's not, I don't think you can go into a season saying he's a number one. And then where do you find a running back these days? I mean, because you're certainly not going to draft one in the second or third rounds probably. So, yeah, I think Josh Jacobs is the guy.
Were you thinking the same way 2 years ago?
You got Aaron Jones late.
Right. Were you thinking the same way about Aaron Jones 2 years ago, too? Like he
I kind of thought that
100-yard
Aaron
games.
Jones. Yeah, I thought the Aaron Jones era had come to an end at that time. I feel like that was my thinking at the time. How old was Aaron Jones then?
29.
I'm trying to remember. And
29.
Jacobs
is going to be 28 on Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit younger. Also, I mean, Aaron Jones had missed a lot of, maybe not a lot, had missed a handful of games the previous couple of years. And I remember early on in Josh Jacobs' tenure, there was a play where he got, hit and hobbled off. And as much as I respected Aaron Jones, I thought to myself, man, Aaron Jones takes that hit, or Aaron Jones pulls up, with a calf or a hamstring, and he probably misses 3 or 4 weeks, and Josh Jacobs didn't miss any time. So I do think there's value in that. And again, that's no knock on Aaron Jones. It was just where he was at in his career at that time.
Go ahead, Tausch. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt you again. You just keep rolling. Rob, I just look at it from a perspective of Goody likes young players. And I don't know who asked the question in the press conference the other day, but the abnormality of 30 years old and whatnot. He has a type. And
I think it was Jason who asked that.
I think you're right. I didn't want to give him any credit. But you get up to that line, right? You get up to that line. Where is that line? And what are you going to do? Try to keep him for 2 more years, or do you just go year to year? Because last year, yes, he fought through things, and everybody that you talk to says the same thing you just did. Great leader, tough, but the run game wasn't productive last year. And a lot of that falls at the offensive line, no doubt, and that group is going to be retooled again. But how much of it is, where are we at with Josh Jacobs? And the one thing I would say is you're going to have Christian Watson healthy, whether Golden with his speed. Teams are going to sit back like they did this year, 2 deep safeties, and say, run the football against us. We'll challenge you. And when you don't have a home run hitter, which we didn't, Marshawn Lloyd not of it makes it really tough on the offense to go about and try to get explosive plays. So how much do you look at his lack of productivity this year on him compared to the O-line?
Yeah, I mean, those are all good points. He still averaged 4.0 yards a carry. His career average is 4.2. Still had 13 touchdowns, and he did all of it without. And you're right, you mentioned the word explosive. His long run this year was 40 yards, and what do you think his long run was the year before?
39.
Yeah, so I think 38 or 39. Okay. But yeah, he's not he's not the rip-off 65-yard runs, but the flip side is he's consistent, and he gets good yardage most of the time. He missed, 2 games this year, right? And he ended up with about 80 less carries and about exactly 400 less yards. I don't know. I do think you probably go year to year if he's willing to do it, and if he's not willing to do it, then good luck to him finding somebody who's going to give a 28-year-old running back a 4-year deal.
Rob, what did you think of Goody's answer on special teams? Because I know you and I have had this discussion all year. I'm not since it's your last appearance. I want you happy, smiling when you walk out of here. So I'm not going to bring up the fact Bisaccia is the highest paid special teams coach. Because what does it matter?
Well, he might not be today anymore with all the new coaching hires. He might not be the highest paid anymore.
That's fair. But of all the things he said, and Goody had a lot of good stuff. I thought his stuff with Ron Wolf was great. The O-line, I thought he was brutally honest about.
Yeah.
Why are we sitting here trying to say special teams was better when I don't know what metrics you're looking at that you're going to say that they've been better under Rich Bisaccia?
Yeah, here's what I would say about the entirety of Goody's press conference, Tausch. And you're right, he did have some good things to say about, process and people that he's worked with in the past. But when it came down to his football team and answering questions about it, I don't think you can believe anything there. Not saying he's just a liar, but when Brian Gutekunst stands up there and says, Nate Hobbs is under contract, so we think he'll be back. Rashawn Gary is under contract, so we think he'll be back. Elton Jenkins is under contract, so we think he'll be back. You know that's not true. So therefore, everything he said, you don't know if it's true or not. Like, he's not going to sit up there and say, yeah, boy, I swung and missed on Nate Hobbs, and Nate Hobbs was terrible, and Nate Hobbs couldn't play through injuries. He's just not going to do it. So you have to trust his actions more than his words. And I would be willing to bet that on what's the third day of the league year when Nate Hobbs is due a $6 million roster bonus or whatever it is, he ain't on the roster. Okay, so and I bring that up by saying, basically anything Goody said, I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's of any value. Again, I'm not like calling him a liar. He's very articulate up there. He's very good, but he's not going to sit up there and trash his own team, his own decisions, his coaches, whatever. That's just not his style. And, that's what I think fans get so upset. And I understand it. Like, it's almost like he's pissing on your head and telling you it's raining when he says the special teams aren't a problem. I understand why people are upset by that. But you got to understand that that's not – his style isn't to say that this guy stinks and that guy stinks. You just have to trust his actions. And, with those free agents or guys that are under contract that won't be here, how many times has he sat up there and told us, yeah, we want all of our free agents back. Aaron Jones, we hope to have him back. Well, he wasn't back. So, it's part of the game. I'm not trying to be negative or cynical, but that's just sort of the way guys are. And it's the way Goody is. And you know what? I think fans just have to take a deep breath and say, does Brian Gutekunst really think Nate Hobbs is really good and is going to be back for another year? No, he doesn't.
And that's, let's be honest, that's frustrating for us in our role, right? Just like Tausch mentioned it, like when I asked, and I regret saying that there seems to be a line of demarcation at 30, because then he seized on it. But, hey, you had two guys on your roster that had a 30th birthday. One was a kicker, one was a long snapper. How can you say there's no line of demarcation?
Jason, what did Ted always used to say? Well, that's just the way it worked out. But you're the one who made it work out that way, right? So, that's exactly, your question was spot on. I mean, it was, it's true. Like they don't have players that are older than 30. That's just not the way that they operate. And I did think the interesting thing, and I don't remember who asked this, and it was a very brief answer by Goody, was, we talked a lot about how they didn't finish games, they haven't finished seasons, and somebody, I don't know if it was you, maybe it was you, asked if
Bill Huber.
Bill Huber. Yeah, is it because you're the youngest team in the league 3 years in a row? And he just no, that is not the reason. I don't know that's, maybe it is the reason. I think there is something, I included that part in my story, and maybe it is the reason. I don't know.
Rob, what are they going to do with because to me, one of the things, and I don't remember which one of you guys asked about the second contracts, and I've used the John Runyon, where I think in the past John Runyon would have been re-signed, and then you don't go get a Banks. And I know John Runyon is probably in the middle, maybe even on the lower tier, but he was drafted by Green Bay. Now he's playing with the Giants. And Sean Ryan, to me, is going to be that case study, because where do you think Goody is drawing the line of, we'll take this guy back at this price, or we just want to upgrade constantly, and we always are going to upgrade younger unless we get one of these big stars in free agency that you've seen he will pay top dollar for guys he views as difference makers. The Sean Ryan part of this, I think, will tell you a lot about where Goody's at. You think he is going to get brought back, or how do you view it?
Yeah, and I mean, Josh Myers last year was the same way, right? I mean, they weren't going to pay Josh Myers like $3 or $4 million. So it's a good question. I would say that, Sean Ryan, the narrative on him changed mid-season, obviously when the injury happened and he moved to center. I mean, he stood there like a week or two before that and said, yeah, I know I'm not back here next year. I'm just going to try to make the best of, what opportunities I get. I certainly think, don't think he expected to play, the last however many games as the starting center. And I think he really helped himself, whether it's here or with somebody else. I just have a hard time, Tausch, seeing them give an offensive lineman who was a part-time starter any kind of significant contract. Now, if the market is such that, Sean Ryan doesn't get, more than $4 million a year or whatever, could the Packers, come in week 2 of free agency and said, yeah, we'll give you, a 3-year, $12 million deal or $15 million deal? Yeah, probably. But I would be willing to bet there's somebody that will pay more. And that's why I think that he probably won't be back. But not saying he shouldn't be, but they're going to have a left tackle, Jordan Morgan, still on the rookie contract. Aaron Banks is high priced. Zach Tom is high priced. I'm not sure how many. Can you really have 3 high priced offensive linemen when you're not in the greatest cap situation? In the world. He did say they'll have flexibility. I get it. But the reason that they're going to have flexibility is because they're going to cut Elton Jenkins and they're going to cut Nate Hobbs and they're going to, probably cut Rashawn Gary.
So, Rob, when there's one player that you just mentioned that I'm curious about. Aaron Banks has a $9 million roster bonus due on the 3rd day of the league year. Is that right? You know contracts way better than I do. I think that's the case.
I have that up here. It'll just take me just a second. It is $9.5 million due the 5th day of the league year. Yeah.
So what do you think happens there? Because look, he did seem to play better late in the year when he got healthy. They can easily just convert that to a signing bonus and spread it out. Do you expect him back? Because if you move on from him too, you basically have everybody new except for Belton at right guard, and your right tackle is coming off of a torn patellar tendon.
Yeah. My feeling on Banks is that he is back, but it obviously will have to be a restructure. And like you said, if you turn that $9.5 million roster bonus into a signing bonus, you can prorate it over 3 years, 2026, 27, 28. His base salary is also $7.7 million. You could convert some of that into the signing bonus as well, and it would lower his cap number or push cap out future years, because his cap number next year is $24.85 million, which I think might be like top 3 or 4 on the team. Last time I looked, I remember it being really high. So I do think, however, he will be back under some sort of altered contract. They were, from what I can tell, they were pretty happy with the way he played once he got into a rhythm and found his way a little bit.
Okay, a couple more things, because I know you got to be out by 10:45, and from what I understand, we got to you late.
I got an oil change appointment at 11 o'clock at a local Honda establishment that I don't know if I'm allowed to say. You did that
yourself. Kind of a grease monkey type of guy.
The only thing I can do is work on this little Mini Cooper model that I have on my desk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I wonder where you got that from.
Cool. It looks like a Lego set there. Yeah, nice.
I remember the guy who gave you that when you had that vehicle. Hey, two things. One. One. Are you surprised at all that the only changes that appear to be happening on this coaching staff are based on people going elsewhere? I guess Gansley, maybe they parted ways with, because he's not Gannon's guy. But are you surprised by that at all, especially on the offensive line, offensive coordinator type scenario?
Very, very surprised, Jason. I thought there would be some changes. And, I mean, Ryan Mahaffey got another job. There was one report that the Packers were parting ways with the receivers coach. I don't know if that's true or not. But he did land. Where did he end up landing?
In Philly. That's right,
with Mannion. Yeah. So yes, to answer your question, I am surprised. I thought we would see some changes on the offensive side of the ball.
And then the other thing is, Tausch always says, don't come to me with problems unless you have solutions, right?
Solutions, yeah.
Goody came to us, and you wrote about it. I wrote about it. I had to scroll past Jordan Love and his wife, Ronica, talking about expecting a baby on the Packers blog on ESPN.com to get to your story today. But this whole not finishing seasons and not finishing games, but Goody gave no explanation as to why he thought that was an issue.
Right.
Why do you think it's been an issue?
It was, it wasn't injuries. It wasn't that they're the 3rd youngest team in the league. It wasn't special teams. Again, he didn't give any reasons, and it doesn't mean he doesn't have reasons. I'm sure he does. I'm sure there are things that they're going to do on his end to try to fix it. I'm sure he didn't want to sit up there and, he doesn't want to criticize the coach because he's not the coach's boss, right? And that's the structure that we've talked about over and over and over again. So, I think all those things we talked about, injuries, inexperience, coaching decisions, players not playing as well as they thought they should, and that falls on Goody's department. I think that's all part of it. It's not, I hate that. It's never just one thing, but it's not. Like, football is a complicated game. It's a lot of things. And on one day it was the special teams. Another day it was a bad timeout or not going for it when you should have gone for it. Another day it was a player who dropped, a pass that was right in his hands. Like, I mean, it's different things on different days. If it was just one thing, you might actually even feel better because you could fix that one thing. But
right.
I don't think football's that way, even for the really good teams. It's a lot of it, but no, Goody wasn't going to give us any of his thoughts on why.
Rob,
last one for me is the lack of numbers and years. We just don't hear what these guys. You asked Goody, does that bother you, or is it just this is the way the Packers do business?
Yeah, I do think it's been hard to find out, and like in years past, they never announced it or never said it, but we were able to find out. Clearly, the agents for these guys have been told by the Packers, don't release this, because I've tried with the agents. Goody's agent isn't necessarily a guy that you'd talk to a lot or know a lot about. He's not it's not one of the, it's not David Dunn. It's not Trace Armstrong. I just don't think that anybody wants that information out. And I don't know why.
Oh, we got
why
that
do you
going
think
for
they
us.
don't?
I don't know.
Why don't they?
I really don't know. My guess is that it's probably because they don't want, when they get to the situation like they were in last year, where it was going into last year, that being the dominating topic. If you don't know when the last year it is of their deals, then you can't talk about the possibility of being lame duck the next year. That's the only explanation.
Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. Okay.
But I do think, Tausch, I'm guessing, and again, this is a guess, it's probably safe to assume they got 3-year extensions, meaning there's probably 4 years total on their deal. I mean, I highly doubt they would have done anything less, and I highly, as in Goody and those guys and LaFleur, accepting anything less, and I highly doubt the Packers would have done anything more.
I agree with Rob on that. Rob, in all seriousness, it's been a great year. You have.
Thank you.
We always appreciate your time.
Rob, you are a needle mover. You are a needle mover.
We'll be very
only
judicious.
one time did Jesse have to use the dump button, and I still feel bad about it.
Actually,
a little.
Rob, that's actually not true.
Actually,
in your swan song today, you got dumped too.
Did I really? What did I say?
You can't say that.
There are certain ways to use the
weird
P
deal.
word
I'm with you.
that are apparently
the
legal.
P word can't be used if you're actually doing
got a
it.
tinkle on your
You
head.
can
Really?
say that you're
raining.
angry,
Yeah.
but you can't. Yeah, you can't. That's
Gotta
a
wake
weird-
So the act of urinating, you can't use that word?
But being angry,
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
You're fine.
We don't get it, but
See,
it's the truth.
So that's 2 for the year.
The softification of our society.
Well, that's never an issue with you, that's for sure.
I had no idea. I've used that line on multiple radio shows for years, and I didn't. How did I know I was? I mean, I must have gotten dumped before.
Peeing in your Cheerios,
just like
urinating in Cheerios.
It's just like junior high and high school. I get dumped again.
Rob, seriously, we appreciate you all season long.
Appreciate
and
you, Rob.
We
All
look
right,
forward to next year.
All right, have a great offseason.
That is Rob Demovsky of ESPN.com, who once again pissed us off by using a word that he shouldn't have used in the way that he used it. But his insights are always appreciated on this here program, and today was no different. That is an interesting double standard. He's not wrong about that.
It doesn't.
It's the FCC, not me.
There's also I believe there's a fine line on the B word as well. The FCC draws, right?
Yes.
Which I think is odd, but be that as it may. All right, we need to play trivia. Jesse, what's the topic today, and what caller would you like?
Fun topic today. So it's super trivia in honor of the big game coming up tomorrow. And when I got together with my dad yesterday for the second part of my day,
you had him write the trivia.
He said, "Hey, I've got something for you here." So this is from a magazine that he got in Muskego, and it had 10 Super Bowl, I can say that here, fun facts. And so he said, maybe you could make some trivia questions. And I said, okay, Dad, I will. So I made 3 trivia questions based on the fun facts from the Muskego magazine that he read earlier this week. Super trivia.
All right, what caller do you want? Your dad is 77 years old?
I don't actually remember how old he is. Right. It's Super Bowl 60. Let's just do caller 6.
Caller 6 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 6 right now plays trivia. Want to remind you that while you're not making calls to play trivia, you can be making calls to Gruber Law Offices if you've been injured in an accident. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. And remember, every time you watch a Badger basketball game at the Kohl Center, from the charity stripe, every time they make a free throw, it supports the UW Carbone Cancer Center, because every time they do, David and his team make a donation to the UW Carbone Cancer Center at the charity stripe at the Kohl Center. It's one of the many things David and his team do in our community, so always keep an eye out. You're going to see him everywhere. I was at Sydney's volleyball practice last night, and there's David Gruber up on a billboard. He's everywhere. And that's because he is there for you if you've suffered an injury in an accident. Gruber Offices, one call. That's all. Call for trivia next.
Outdoor volleyball?
Huh?
Playing outdoor volleyball?
No, it was in the facility. It was inside.
There's an indoor billboard in.
It's like an electronic thing, yeah.
Okay. Old David Gruber now.
He's everywhere.
Now. Yep.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and you may have heard there's a big football game this weekend. Well, that has me feeling good on a Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. Does your next paint project call for the bold colors of your favorite teams? Like fans this weekend thinking red and white or blue and neon green? Well, for whatever your next project calls for, do what my family did and trust Hallman Lindsay's pro painters to get the job done right. Choosing the pros is the way to go. All you have to do, get connected with them, is to stop into any of Hallman Lindsay's Madison area locations. Ask. They're going to help you find the pro painters best suited for what you need. And remember, Hallman Lindsay Paint is the one paint you can trust to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. Hallman Lindsay, great paint, great people. And stick around for a super edition of Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Valentine's Day is coming, and your wallet just asked for a moment of silence. But relax. At Chalmers Jewelers, romance comes with surprisingly friendly prices.
Like a diamond pendant, gold hoops, or a diamond bracelet, all starting at $2.99.
This Valentine's Day, impress your Valentine, not your credit card company.
Chalmers Jewelers, where great taste doesn't have to be expensive.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
There's never been a better time to experience Pella in person and get all your questions answered. Join us at the Neri Spring Home Improvement Show, February 13th through the 15th at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a free Design Works rendering. Rest easy with Pella's 10-year limited warranty and get 0% interest for up to 48 months. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
NBA Saturday primetime on ESPN Radio. Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors face Luka and the Los Angeles Lakers. Coverage begins tomorrow at 8 Eastern with tip-off at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Indeed.
Thanks, as always, to Rob Demovsky. We look forward to his return, unless this rampant profanity use causes him to not be brought back next season. I don't know what his cap number is, and if we can restructure with him if need be, but we appreciate his insights that he gives us throughout the season. Time now for trivia.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance, and proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousin Subs. Roses are red, strawberries are too. The chocolate strawberry shake is calling you. Try it at Cousin Subs.
That does sound delish. Let's welcome in our contestant. He's the contestant formerly known as Sean in Waukesha. Now he's known as Sean in Beloit. Sean, good morning. How are you?
Morning. No swearing from me.
Yeah, well, that's I get it. It can be tricky. We appreciate you using good, wholesome language on the program. Maybe you'll get all three right, and you'll have no reason to deliver any expletives either. Let's go. Question one. From this category where Jesse's dad kind of did the work for him, apparently, but not entirely.
He got me 3/4 of the way there.
And then
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Usher George.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, question one is this. Super Bowl Sunday is the day Americans consume the most food, except for that one other day. What is the only day that tops Super Bowl Sunday for food consumption in the U.S.? Is it Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, or Free Food Friday with Pizza Hut at ESPN Madison?
I could say in my family it's Christmas, but I'm going to go with Thanksgiving.
Smart man. Well played. Indeed, you are correct. Question two, Sean. Which of these is the only NFC franchise that has never played in the Super Bowl game? Only NFC franchise to have never played in a Super Bowl. Is it the Washington Commanders, the Detroit Lions, or the Arizona Cardinals?
Detroit.
Indeed. Bobby Lane, 1957.
Man, this is the Super Bowl.
It's been a while. All right, question three and a chance at a clean sweep. Super Bowl I featured the Green Bay Packers and Kansas City Chiefs. Which of these venues was that game played at? Was it played at the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, or the Los Angeles Coliseum?
I'm going to go with the Coliseum.
Well, you chose wisely.
Hey, all right.
Sean, 3 for 3, nothing to swear about there. We appreciate you. You got 4 entries. Jesse's going to draw the winner in the 11 o'clock hour, so stay tuned for that. I hope you've enjoyed your move from Waukesha to Beloit.
Hey, I wanted to thank Tauscher for the selfie at the hockey game. Good luck to his team. Stay.
Oh. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Did you
good
charge
tussle
for
down
that?
at Beloit a couple weeks ago. No. Couple weeks ago down
that's
at
a good
Beloit.
team. Really good team.
Yeah, we got a good squad this year. Got a good squad.
So if
well,
Sean
and everybody last night, just not to put our business out on the street, but there was a table set up, and everybody was excited because there's an ESPN ESPN Madison's going to be here tonight, and we had some issues that happened, and I don't know if we're going to reboot, but Hunter and the team have done a couple of hockey games this year, high school hockey, which is new for our prep team.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yes, indeed.
If Sean prints that photo and sends it to the ESPN Madison studios, will you sign it and send it back to him?
Sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Tausch. Very nice.
I appreciate you, Sean. I don't know what Jason. This is Jason's way of being a knob,
knucklehead.
Why?
Yeah, it's a knucklehead.
Wouldn't it be great to have an autographed version of the photo?
Oh, you're just signing up.
I'm
Okay.
gonna start. This
Hey,
is
Sean,
where it's so
if
funny.
Jason
Your
could-
hypocrisy sometimes. If I said something and did that to you, you'd be mad.
Yeah.
Sean, more than
If
happy. I'll
Sean
see
drives
Sean
up
again.
to Green
Whoop.
Bay, would you be happy to treat him to lunch, Jason?
I didn't ask him to buy him lunch. If somebody took a picture with me and they sent it to me and they actually wanted me to sign it, I would sign it.
All right, send out your address. Give your address out to everybody and let people send stuff to you.
I said the
Wouldn't that be
ESPN
nice?
Madison
I
office.
know, but this is your studio, your basement. So I love it. Love it. I have some things I want you to sign. So just let us know and we'll send it out. Sean,
Okay.
thank you
He
very
wants
much.
to
I don't know
leave.
why this thing took
Thanks
a
again,
weird
guys.
turn. Appreciate it, Sean.
Sean can't get out of here fast enough now.
Trust me, I'm with Sean.
Awkward.
Yeah, way to go, Jason. You took a nice, lovely moment and made it super awkward. Well done.
More Wilde
11
and Tausch
o'clock
straight
hour.
ahead. Stick around.
48 minutes left. We got 52 minutes left in the show today.
You brought the voice out. That's how you know you got him.
More next.
More Wilde and Tausch.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Keep it right here after Wilde and Tausch and join us for the Rich Eisen Show on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza. I've been telling you for a while how much I've loved Pizza Hut since I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Well, I loved Pizza Hut then, and I love making new memories, enjoying it with my family today. As Wisconsin sports fans, we know it's rarely easy to find a win. But Pizza Hut has a win for lunch or dinner. Pizza Hut's My Hut Box lets you choose your entree, personal pan pizza, a melt, or now, wings. Boneless or traditional wings start at just $6.99. One box, tons of options, all day, every day. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut, feed good times. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. President's Day at Steinhoffels. Save at least 10% off store-wide. Spend over $4,999 and get a 65-inch 4K smart TV only at Steinhoffels. The Jump Around crew playing the schedule game collectively agreeing on a winning record for Wisconsin football in 2026. Riley Yauk backing the Badgers, but also expressing cautious optimism ahead of a make-or-break season for Luke Fickell.
This is the easiest schedule you could possibly get. So if Fickell can't get 8 wins this year, I don't think he's ever going to get 8 wins at Wisconsin. This has to be the year to turn it around. Get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. With exclusive features and customized for every home, Pella provides the highest quality products at a price you can afford. Go to PellaWI.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Attention Las Vegas lovers, Mini Hoops Mania presented by Bud Light is back in the Madison area. Mini Hoops Mania is going to take place at bars in the Madison area. You will get 30 seconds to score as many points as you can, and the top 2 of each location will be invited back for the finals at Chasers 2.0. Then, the winner of the finals will receive a trip for 2 to Las Vegas for a chance to compete for $10,000. That's Mini Hoops Mania happening right here in Madison for your chance to go to Viva Las Vegas.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Make a difference and donate blood today. Impact Life and Stoughton Health are bringing a blood drive for the community to the community. Friday, February 13th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our Community Health and Wellness Center, 3162 County Road B. Appointments encouraged. Sign up online at bloodcenter.org or call 800-747-5401. Group code 3643. That's Friday, February 13th. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com. Creating excellence together.
NBA Saturday primetime on ESPN Radio. Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors face Luka and the Los Angeles Lakers. Coverage begins tomorrow at 8 Eastern with tip-off at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Indeed.
We'll get to our Super Bowl preview coming up, which I think was that last year's Super Bowl that Ed Helms Sucks became the preview. I think that's the case.
I think it was a couple years ago.
No, it feels like it's longer than that because that show's been off the air for a while.
But let's check in with the poll question before we get to that at the top of the 11 o'clock hour. Do you care if your sports heroes spend the entirety of their careers with the same team? 59% of you say yes, I care. 41% of you say no, I don't. So that is where that stands currently. We will get to our preview coming up after I tell you about Steinhafels. We don't have any sleepers today, but President's Day is right around the corner, and Steinhafels is celebrating big. Right now, save at least 10% off store-wide on the furniture you've been waiting for, and it gets better. Spend over $4,999, and Steinhafels gives you a 65, that's Tausch's old numbers, 65-inch 4K smart TV. Wow. Plus, this weekend only, get a $100 University Bookstore gift card for new Badgers gear when you spend over $1,999. So you spend $5,000 on your new furniture, you get a new TV, you get $100 at the UW Bookstore. What more could you ask for? Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, trusted and local experts providing the best quality roof, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Get your free estimate today at ridgetopexteriors.com. Giannis remains in Milwaukee, at least for now. The NBA trade deadline comes and goes yesterday afternoon, and the Greek Freak remains with the Milwaukee Bucks. The deal does not get done for the Bucks to send the 13-year veteran to another team in the association. So he stays with Milwaukee. The Bucks have won 2 in a row. We'll see if they can make a playoff push, make it 3 in a row tonight, hosting the Indiana Pacers. Winnable game. Pacers are 13-38 on the season. Tip time at 7 o'clock. Pregame coverage starts at 6:30 right here on Madison's Home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. Meanwhile, on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel tonight, Friday night girls basketball on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania, Madison Memorial and Verona. Tip time scheduled for 7:15. Miss Rob Demovsky on Wilde and Tausch. Latest Packers insight. Check it out on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and it begins with our much-anticipated Super Bowl preview.
Let's take a closer look at this week's matchup. This is the Green and Gold Game Preview.
Well, it's the Green and Gold Game Preview, but it's also the Big Game Preview. Someday it'll be the Green and Gold Game Preview this weekend again. The New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks squaring off in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. 4 big questions for the big game coming up on Sunday.
4?
Yeah.
Usually it's only 3.
4 of them today. Big game.
Did your dad do these for us?
He did not. This was all me. What is the big storyline heading into Super Bowl 60? Tausch?
To me, watching what, and again, this is a Packer-centric show, but I watch a lot of NFL. I don't know if New England is going to be able to protect their quarterback. And I know his shoulder's been, part of this whole process, his right shoulder. But Seattle's got a really, really good defense. They're able to pressure and make quarterbacks' lives uncomfortable. And I think New England's going to have a hard time moving the football in that regard. So to me, it's going to be quarterback play, but who can protect their guy better? Whoever does that's going to win this game on Sunday.
Yeah, the storyline for me is a simple one. I want to see Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl. There's a guy whose journey has been full of ups and mostly downs. And
he's played for more than one team.
He's bounced around quite a bit. And we remember, and Tausch certainly remembers, his admission that he was seeing ghosts when he was with the Jets. This is a really cool redemption story. So I don't know him at all. They came here for the training camp joint practices before the preseason game this summer. Seems like a likable dude. But I think it would be a really neat redemption story if he can win a Super Bowl and play really well, maybe even be the Super Bowl MVP of the game. Next.
Jesse, you know what that tells me?
What?
Jason likes John Schneider more than he likes Elliott Wolf. That's what that just tells me.
Oh, wow.
I like the story of Sam Darnold better than I
You
like
love
the story
Ron
of Drake
Wolf.
May.
But I think you're more John Schneider than Elliott. That's what that tells me.
Not a big fan of his kid.
Deductively reasoning.
If Elliott's quarterback was Sam Darnold, I would have picked Sam Darnold and the Patriots.
I don't know, Jim.
No.
I don't know Johnny Schneider. I don't know. That's your guy. We know that's your guy. All right.
Which player will have the biggest impact on the team that wins the Super Bowl this weekend? Tausch?
Well, you know where I'm going. I have been up on the balcony proclaiming Rashid Shaheed has been the difference maker in helping this Seattle Seahawks team get there. He's made big plays in the receiving game. He's obviously done it in the special teams. And he is the type of player. He is going to be our Bond for next season. We need to find a Rashid Shaheed in the G&G. And maybe it'll be Rashid Shaheed. That is going to be with the G&G to help. But he has been such a difference maker. And if Seattle is going to win, which, again, I think they will. I'm going to pick New England just because I'm going to go Oppo this weekend because everybody thinks Seattle's winning. So I'm an Oppo guy. But he is the catalyst. He's been such a, especially December and January, he's been critical in their wins. I think he will be the guy that is going to be the catalyst to help him get it done.
That's a really great choice by you.
Thank you very much. You scroll the roster to find a couple names you like?
No, I'm going to go with the guy. No, I'm going with the name that you don't ever remember.
Kenny
Skywalker. Kenneth Walker III. I saw something from Jeff Darlington that, like, nobody was talking to him when they would have press availabilities with the Seahawks. Like, this guy, he's the primary reason they're in the Super Bowl, right? Wasn't he the hero of the NFC Championship game? Like, he carried them. So I'm going to go with Ken Walker, because Zach Charbonnet is out for the season, and Ken has been a key part of their offense. Next.
All right, Jason, as an Elliott Wolf hater, the New England Patriots upset the Seattle Seahawks and win Super Bowl 60 if...
Wait a minute, just rewind for a second. You said upset. So what is the line? I have not been...
4.5. 4.5 for the Seahawks. Yeah, 4.5-point favorites. Which some of the conversation on the national shows this week is there's no way you can consider the New England Patriots an underdog. They've won 6 Super Bowls. They're the greatest dynasty, arguably, in American sports in the last 3 decades.
You might as well be talking about Lombardi's Packers when you're talking about Belichick's Patriots. Like, come on, man.
But you just can't look. You can't look at the logo and the helmets and the uniforms and say that team's an underdog.
No, I just did, and I am looking at it that way.
Okay, I'm saying you're in the minority. I don't think most people look at it that way.
Great. All right. Well, most people should get on board.
So anyway, the New England Patriots upset the Seattle Seahawks this weekend because they are betting underdogs if blank. Tausch, how do we fill in that blank?
But you just asked Jason.
Sorry. I was making the Elliott Wolf joke. Either of you, how do the Patriots...
So which way am I going here? Is it me or Jason?
Both of you can say how the Patriots
Here's the deal.
upset the Seahawks.
Here is the way the Patriots are going to win this game. They're going to win it with special teams, and they're going to win it with defense. I don't think their offense is going to have some monster day. I think their quarterback's going to be limited. He's going to have to run more. I don't know. I know they have Stephon Diggs. They have some weapons, but that's not how they're going to win. They're going to win kind of the oppo of how Green Bay has won. They're going to do it with all 3 phases, but especially I really think, and Jason mentioned this, Sam Darnold's been good. He still has those things hanging over him, and he's had 2 weeks for it to fester. New England is going to pressure him. Everybody is saying this redemption arc, and granted, it's been good, but his season was choppy. He had stretches where he wasn't very good. Now, he's been good in the postseason, but the way New England's going to win is the way New England has won other Super Bowls. and that is make a couple big plays on special teams, and they're going to have to get after Sam Darnold and force him to be uncomfortable. If Sam Darnold's back there patting that football, hopping around, taking looks, they're beat. If you get in his face and get him moving, you're going to be happy with the results. That's how New England wins this game.
Yeah, I'm going to steal what Tausch said in his first answer because that all makes sense. But if Sam Darnold does play like Sam Darnold has played at times, to Tausch's point, I mean, thinking through 13 interceptions during the regular season, that's a lot. If Drake May has his moment, and despite dealing with the injury and whatever limitations, but he throws 2 big touchdown passes to Stephon Diggs, finds a way to solve the riddle of that Seahawks defense, and outplays Darnold, and Darnold makes a few mistakes. That's how the Patriots upset them. You know, I know we don't say turnovers as the reason when we do this preview, but to me anyway, there's a chance that Sam Darnold ruins my redemption story suggestion, and he plays poorly. We saw it happen to him last year in the playoff game for the Vikings against Detroit, in the playoff game for the first overall seed against Detroit, and then in their playoff game the following week. So that's not out of the realm of possibility. This isn't Elway versus Favre in Super Bowl 32. I get that. But the quarterback that makes the most plays and the fewest mistakes will tilt the field. Question 4?
Yeah, last one, and I'm calling an audible on what I had on the show sheet.
So you had 4 questions.
Yep.
You purposely added a 4th question, and now you're not asking the question you had for the 4th question?
Correct. I thought of a better one. Yeah.
Okay.
On a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being ultra juicy and 1 being no juice, how juicy is this Super Bowl matchup?
3.75.
I thought you just said you felt like it was pretty juicy before. Now you're saying
I was down to like a 1. Monday I was at like a 1.
I mean, 3.75
I've tripled over the course of the week.
That's not very juicy, though.
And by Sunday, I think I'll be up to like a 6. Like I'm an incremental. Like Jason always says, growth isn't linear. I'm an incremental juice guy. I've tripled my juice level from Monday to Friday. I'm guessing by Sunday afternoon, when you got the wings brewing, you got the Coors Lights flowing, and you got your Tito's mixer.
You're brewing
I'm
your
guessing
wings, huh?
My juice level's going to get up to 6 and some change, and that's about
6, 7
when it's a non-Packer, or if it's not there's not the star power. That's about where I'm at.
Yeah, mine said it. What was it? 3.75.
That is correct.
Mine is at a 3.75, and it's not going to go any higher. I'm hopeful for Goody's 2 chums that was the best answer we got from him, by the way, on Wednesday was the Ron Wolf, John Schneider, Elliott Wolf answer. It was out of nearly 40 minutes. It was the best answer we got. I'm excited for both those guys. I will be happy for whichever one wins, but beyond that, I'm not excited about this, and I understand why a lot of other people aren't either. I really wanted. If you were looking for a dream matchup and it wasn't going to involve the Packers and we weren't going to be at Radio Row and I wasn't going to be covering the game, I wanted Rams-Bills.
Yeah.
That was the matchup that I wanted if it wasn't going to include the Packers. And we didn't get either one. And Sean McDermott got fired.
After the second round of the playoffs, these playoffs exponentially decreased in interest to me.
NFC Championship game was great.
I mean, it was a good game.
I agree.
But
come on. It was a great game.
I don't know if it's because the Bears were in it, and so I was actively rooting against them so hard that it just felt like there wasn't a level of passion for or against any remaining
Once
team.
they lost to the Rams, you lost interest?
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
Like, I was really interested in that second weekend, even with the Packers out. And then once we got to the conference championships, I totally lost interest in the matchups.
And unfortunately, here's the problem. It's why I said we should have played it last Sunday. You can't. Time kills deals. Time kills enthusiasm. Time kills juice. There's a reason we invented refrigerators. You don't want juice sitting out 2 weeks. That's what happened. And college football continues to screw this up more than the pros. And they're going to wait till the end of January next year? I mean, unless Wisconsin is in it, I'm going to tell you right now, my juice level is going to be low. Get low. It's going to be the limbo playoffs of next year. They're not going to finish till the 25th of blanking January next year. That juice is going to be rotten. No fridge. Hopefully it's freezing outside. We can put our juice outside, put it in a snowbank.
Was the Get Low song that you were singing from Lil Jon, is that often played when people are doing the limbo? Because I've not experienced that in my limbo playing days.
Well, how much limbo playing have you done?
More than you, I bet.
I used to love going to the roller rink, dude. Melody Gardens, by the way, still has, if anybody's up in the greater Wood County area, head on in there. They have great ice cream, so I'm not going out of pocket here. But their breakfast specials and their food, phenomenal. And yes, they had limbo back in the day.
Are you telling us that you never did limbo after your roller skating days of your youth?
No, Jesse's just trying to act like I never limboed. Now, I can't bend my knee as good as I
you limbo?
I did the limbo when we were at a resort in Mexico in 2019. That is the last time I limboed. I'm willing to bet any amount of money that I have that I have
How much you got?
More recently than Tausch
How much money
has
you
limboed.
got?
Not much.
I don't know. I'll have to check my limbo. I keep a journal of all of my limbos. So I'll take a look, Jell, and I will get back to you on my limbo journaling. Okay?
I'm not gonna lie. This is why I do love doing this show, because at 11:24 on Friday, February 6th, the topic on the program was, when is the last time Tausch did the limbo? And it may have been the best moment of the show so far.
When did you last limbo, Jason?
Probably at a wedding.
Not in 2021.
Not at your wedding, because I didn't go. But did we do the limbo at the reception for Carrie and Jeff and Monroe's son? I don't think so. But not. You probably have me beat. It was probably pre-pandemic. But we went to a few weddings before that, and I know we did the limbo at it. I remember the girls doing it. So, again, I look forward to Tausch revealing from his limbo journal when the last time he got low.
Well, by the way, I could go in limbo this afternoon. I'll just put that bar up super high, and I'll say I limboed. That ain't really the theory of limboing. Limboing, you gots to get low. Otherwise, it's not really limbo.
Limbo's a hard one to officiate, also, because when do you got to bend the knees appropriately, and when do you?
Yeah,
can you just crouch?
Do your hands? If your hands touch, it's over, right?
Yeah.
Hands hit the floor.
Jesse, in all your umpiring, have you ever officiated a limbo contest?
I can't say that I have. No.
Okay. There you have it.
Add it to Wilde and Tausch Fest whenever we get around to that.
And we'll do it in conjunction with the Hall of Fame opening. And I'm sure American Family Insurance will be there for all of it for us.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we're going to do a limbo contest, we better have American Family Insurance there. People are going to need it, because I got a hunch stuff might happen. American Family Insurance, a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump. And since 1927, they have been committed to making life better with outstanding home and auto protection. Also, you're free to enjoy your dreams, so insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
Our prize picks for the big game are next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, will Sam Darnold finally put the ghost narrative to bed and lift the Lombardi Trophy, or will Drake May lead the Pats to title number 7? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best local sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Super Week 2026 on ESPN Radio. The latest news.
Josh McDaniel in this offense, can you hit some big plays?
Predictions and reaction.
Vibes are immaculate. The energy is in the atmosphere. Everybody's getting ready for the big game. It's awesome.
Everybody is so excited to be here.
Seahawks, Patriots.
Cowboys ready. Hell yeah.
Super Week 2026.
This is it. We're here.
Live from San Francisco, California.
On for the touchdown.
Continues on ESPN Radio. Presented by SoFi.
For the big game this year, upgrade what's in your cooler. Meet Carbless, handcrafted premium cocktails in a can made with real spirits and big, bold flavor. Zero sugar, zero carbs, only 100 calories, and gluten-free. Carbless delivers bartender quality cocktails that are easy to enjoy from kickoff to the final play. Perfect for watch parties, game day spreads, or packed living rooms. When the food is hot and the game is loud, crack open a cold Carbless. Stock up on flavors like black raspberry, lemon lime, and pineapple before game day. Carbless, full of flavor, ready for kickoff.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
With Jonathan Gannon, for him, he's got to want to kick ass here in Green Bay. He can't just be mediocre. He can't just be Jeff Hafley. Like, he has to be better than all of the guys that preceded him. Jeff Hafley looked good because he went after Joe Barry. Anybody could look good after Joe Barry.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Here's to a Wisconsin winter you will always remember. To playing outdoors in a winter wonderland. Here's to cozying up around the fire and holding someone close. And to staying downtown, where the food scene makes your heart sing. And to celebrating moments frozen in time. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your winter getaway at travelwisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
For over a century, one family has helped generations move forward. Christofferson Moving and Storage. They've built a legacy of trust celebrating 120 years in 2026. With transparent, upfront pricing, highly trained professional crews, and flexible services designed around you, they protect your home and belongings with expert care and clear communication every step of the way. Let them handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on what's next. Christofferson Moving and Storage. Your best move since 1906. Get your complimentary quote at christoffersonmoving.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Quick question before we get to our prize picks for the big game. Tauscher, obviously a incredible ambassador for Jones Dairy Farm.
Love Jones Dairy Farm.
And you talk about the orchetta. I have some gnocchi that I'm going to make. Paul and the girls have gymnastics practice tonight, so I'm on my own for dinner. So I'm going to make gnocchi. But I was thinking about, adding something
That's
to it.
interesting. So you're going to make dinner when your family's gone. That typically is where you go out to eat.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
Go get
dynamic.
yourself a cheeseburger.
Yeah, I suppose your kids don't love meat, so you're probably
Correct.
Is that what the kind
That's
of the
exactly what.
Okay.
See, you're
Makes
right
sense.
where you're right there with me now.
Steak dinner for one. Yeah.
Well, no, I do have
That's true, too.
the meat Santa. Our friend Joe Thomas did send me a couple of those steaks. I ordered on my own and paid out of my own pocket, of course, for the meat sticks that they have, which are really good.
They're
The
good.
apple cheddar ones are the best. Like, I cannot recommend
The
them
best,
enough.
Jerry?
They are the best, Jerry. But I was I was thinking, because as Tausch pointed out, I live with a bunch of vegetarians, except for Sydney.
She's
who
a
eats chicken
vegetarian.
tenders.
Oh, she's a vegetarian. Oh, she's a vegetarian. Okay.
But she eats chicken tenders. I want to add some
That's
sort
a casual vet. That's a casual
She,
vegetarian.
yeah, Sid bends the rules, but she's a lot like me. She's she kind of moves with the tide a little bit. I'm curious.
I don't think again, man. I am not here to say what you can and can't do. I don't think you can call yourself a vegetarian if you're wolfing down chicken.
Yeah.
No, she's not. But it's easier to describe them all as vegetarians than say, well, Paul.
Oh, you want
to
to put baby in a box? Okay, you want to put all the babies in a box.
And Sydney, I mean, she's not having a burger with me, so she has an exception.
What
And
if
that's
Joe
for chicken
Thomas
tenders.
sent you some Wagyu beef?
No, they wouldn't do it.
The best beef.
They wouldn't.
The best. Okay.
By the way,
All right.
the beef jerky is a game changer with the Wagyu, by the way.
Well, it's rehydrated.
Yeah, it's incredible. My question is, with your extensive experience with Jones Dairy Farm, what do I want to put in? What kind of meat would I want to mix in with my gnocchi tonight?
As I've told you, you can't go wrong with any of it. I love with the orchetta. What I like doing is you get these pork rolls. It's basically rolled up. You could do it with the beef or the turkey or the chicken as well. But I want to get the caramelization crunch on it to add texture.
That's what I want.
Pork's got a little more fat in it, so you're going to get a little more caramelization. And that's why we like the pork with the orchetta, and then we have the spinach to balance that out. And Sarah, I'm telling you, she's made some dishes that have been home runs. Orchetta's the orchetta with the Jones Dairy pork is an absolute grand slam.
So do I
Okay?
saute
That's
that
what you
in like a pan and then add it to
You
the
don't saute it,
gnocchi?
you fry it. You put it in, if you want to put onions in it, whatnot. But, yeah, you put it in there, and you let the edges get crispy, crunchy for the
Okay.
texture, and everything else will stay, and that's what you would do.
I'll be doing that
And
tonight.
if you're going gnocchi, you got to go with a spicy tomato sauce, too. Like, that has to happen.
Okay. Well, I was more looking for your input on the meat than on the sauce. I'm more of just kind of a butter sauce type, but I appreciate your input.
You got the palate of a 3-year-old, don't you?
Some might say.
I just want some butter. I just would like a little butter.
It is
Make sure it's
Grassland Dairy butter,
if
though.
you're using it. There you go.
Time for prize picks.
Prize picks of the big game. Remember, we got that 0.5 passing yards on the table for Drake May. So
Which is
that's
not a free square.
not a freebie because he's battling. He's coming back from injury. It's possible he could go the entire game without throwing for a yard. But take advantage while you can. We did part 1 last Friday, part 2 today. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, JSN, more or less than 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. Just does JSN get in the end zone for the Seattle Seahawks?
You would have to think so, right? Like, you would have to think that he will. I mean, I am going to go more on that because he's a big-time player. Although I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. When the money's on the table, that's who I'm going to. And he's really, really good. Yes, more.
I will take more as well, since I disagreed with every pick we made last week.
You did, yes. All right, I like where we're at here so far. Drake May and Sam Darnold combo, more or less than 0.5 rushing or receiving touchdowns. So does either quarterback have a rushing touchdown or, I guess on a trick play, a receiving touchdown in the big game on Sunday. Tausch?
No.
So less it is then.
Yep.
Jason?
No.
All right. Now we're going to get fun. Special teams.
I'm a little...
What?
Isn't there a good chance that Drake May does have a rushing touchdown?
Yes, that's why it's more or less. And
Well, then go yes.
Yeah.
Go yes. Nobody's telling you have to agree with me. Say
I feel
yes.
like
It's
last
not
week
that hard.
I was disagreeable and I disagreed with you. Now I was trying to be more agreeable.
I don't even know what we
now-
did last week. There was no games. What did we even do
We
last
did
week?
we did big game part 1 prize picks last Friday.
Oh,
Right,
I was
for
gonna
this
say,
game.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right? That's what I thought.
Your guy Ken, who had his rushing yards.
Everybody loves Ken.
Special teams.
Name. I don't know why you guys get such a kick out of me calling someone by their correct name.
Oh, my God.
If I may interrupt briefly, John Schneider
Breaking
asks
news.
me to tell you hi.
The singer or the
Outstanding.
GM?
Tell him good luck.
He's a big.
Good luck, and tell him that I'm shocked that you're so far ahead of Elliot Wolf on Jason's power rankings.
Yeah, text Elliot Wolf, see what he says.
I'm going to leave that part out.
Yeah.
Next.
The Patriots kicker is Andy Borigalis. Andy Borigalis, more or less than 1.5 made field goals for the upset-minded New England Patriots.
More. This is going to be a field goal game. I think all of the criticism of the championship games of not kicking field goals, points are going to matter. I think both of these teams look at this as their defense and special teams are the strength of their football teams, and getting points will be a premium. I like more on this one.
I like more, too. That means he's got to kick 2 field goals, maybe with Adam Vinatieri getting into the Hall of Fame. Maybe he kicks one to win the game, like Adam Vinatieri once did when Janet Jackson's boob was exposed during the halftime show.
I don't think you can say that.
Can I not say that?
Whoa, I think you can say breast. I don't think you can say the other one.
I wouldn't. I don't know if we can legally or not.
Just come on. What am I, Demovsky now?
Last.
How many people would have known? Because I did not know the name of the kicker for the Patriots. I did not know.
I would not know it without looking it up. Now I know it.
I actually thought that was a dish that Jason could have made, beef bourguignon. That's what I thought. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh, is Wilde making? Is he making beef bourguignon tonight?"
Jones Dairy Farm, you make a mean Borigalis.
Aurora Borealis. Am I right?
That's our headline for this week. All right, last one.
The worst part of that is that I thought the exact same thing.
Aurora Borealis.
Yes.
Tausch's guy, Kenneth Walker, more or less, this for the big game, Prize Picks brings out some fun options that aren't regularly available for us. This is a good one. Kenneth Walker, more or less than 3.5 quarters with 5 or more rushing yards.
What?
So in each individual quarter, does he reach 5 rushing yards or more?
Just wait. So if he goes 4 quarters and if he rushes for 20 yards in the big game.
No,
and he has
quarter
No,
by
hold up.
Okay.
Yeah, he has 5 yards each quarter. He rushes 4 times for 20 yards, and they're all 5-yard runs. This will hit.
And it's 1 in each quarter, yes. It's each quarter is kind of its own game for this category.
That seems like it should be a no-brainer.
I like that one. I was digging through. I'm like, I really like this one. Kenneth Walker, every quarter rushing for 5 yards or more.
This feels
I
perilous
love this
to me.
one. It just feels, it feels too good, and that's why I think it won't, but I'm going to say yes. I like it. I like it a lot.
Especially if you think they're going to win the game. Like, they're going to run the ball in the second half.
But
I mean, there's so many variables, though. Like, what if
Injuries.
the Patriots have a really long drive and they only have, oh man, I'm out on this one. But this is the first time.
Why don't you text Schneider and ask him what the game plan is, and then we get a better idea.
I will say this is the first time.
And then he can get suspended and arrested for, why don't we just,
and then
let's see what we can do.
Ask Elliot Wolf if he was going to go watch the Aurora Borealis this weekend, would it have a couple of kicks made or not?
Did you know your kicker's name? This is the first time we've done this where I want to circle back on Monday to find out if it hits or not.
Put it down, Gel.
This specific
Write this one
category?
down and
Okay.
let me know if this hits, because I am fascinated by this.
I will put it in my lineup for Prize Picks this weekend.
I'll say this. I've
you're
had
gonna
a ton
play
of
it?
success
Heck yeah, I'm gonna play it.
post Green Bay being out. I rode the MVP of the league, and he brought me home on Prize Picks. Stafford was phenomenal as a prize picker. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll look at both QBs. Obviously, I'm all in on Drake, 0.5. I love this 5 yards per quarter, which is crazy because it is going to be variable. I think I'm going to go in on that. And then I'm going to go with Seattle's kicker, who I do know. His name is Myers, last name Myers. And I think I'm going to go more on him. And I'm going to ride that out and see how my Prize Picks goes. This is the perfect time to get going. The big game, it is almost here. And there is no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than with Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. Can build the lineup in under 60 seconds, and it's simple. We just did it. More or less on at least 2-player projections, and watch the game with even more excitement. And we're literally handing you one of those two with Drake May at 0.5 yards. Now it's up to you to be right on the other one, and you can cash in. And it's simple. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code WI, and you'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that is code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. The big game is here. Drake May, 0.5. Check that one, and then go have some fun, and let us know about it on Monday, how you did. Hopefully, Prize Picks, it will be good.
If Kenneth Walker gets 5 yards in each of the 4 quarters, and you're
What
right.
That is a fun one. And the fact that Charbonnet is out makes me, he's going to get touches.
But
what will be irritating? What will be irritating is if he's got it. He's at 8 in the fourth quarter, and then they decide to run some stuff, and he gets stuffed, and he bounces one back 4 yards, and he's stuck at 4. That would be frustrating.
It would be, and that's not sarcasm. Time now for Won't Ellie. That is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, encouraging you to save money and help save the planet by making the energy switch to Everlight Solar. The teams competing in the big championship game were great at making big decisions that help propel their franchises to new levels of success in recent years. Similarly, you can also make a great change that helps you out with the switch to Everlight Solar. Our family was thinking about making the switch to solar for a while, but we weren't quite sure where to even start. That's when we met the team at Everlight Solar. From the very first conversation, they educated us on the benefits of solar while also helping keep the process simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
They say punters are people too, especially on KBN.
Brian Gutekunst is going to have his best offseason of his entire career. I've been thinking about roster development lately and what Goody has in store for him. And I don't see any way this team can become a title contender unless Goody has the best offseason of his whole career.
Kyle, Brust, and Nordman. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Molly Brown here for Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle? Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned Kia, you can browse their extensive inventory and find this month's specials at metrokiaofmadison.com. That's metrokiaofmadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership on the east side of Madison today.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
There's never been a better time to experience Pella in person and get all your questions answered. Join us at the Neri Spring Home Improvement Show, February 13th through the 15th at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a free DesignWorks rendering. Rest easy with Pella's 10-year limited warranty and get 0% interest for up to 48 months. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
I worried that I couldn't work a full-time job and still have time for college. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I found my stride. My classes are flexible and hands-on, and I walk on campus feeling inspired. My advice to others? Make your dreams a reality. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold a lie with sportswear, too. You pay a fortune for big-name gear, a fancy logo, a slogan, and it still stinks. Iron Jock doesn't play that game. Silver ion technology is woven into every thread, killing 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. And now, through February 10th, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock orders over $50 with the code SUPER40. Shop now at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Keep it right here after Wilde and Tausch, and join us for the Rich Eisen Show on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
After we gave Riley Yauk all kinds of time for Wo Riley yesterday, we barely have any time for Wo Nelly, Jesse. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to draw us a trivia winner here. Pretty even split among all the chips in the cheese fry helmet this week.
Had Riley told you about his new budding relationship, by the way?
No. That was...
Better check out the podcast.
Yeah. I caught a lot of the show yesterday. I missed that part at the end. Oh, today's contestant. Congratulations to Sean in Beloit.
Atta baby, Sean.
Unsure if he's going to get anything autographed, but he does get Cousin Subs and Iron Jack coming his way.
Why don't we do this? I'm going to be in the office next week. I'm going to sign everything in there that Sean's getting. Socks, hat, whatever it might be, it's going to get signed. Even his sub. I'm going to sign his sub. And then we're going to send all of it up to Wilde, and Wilde's going to sign everything.
And I'm going to sell it on eBay. That's actually a really good idea. Count me in. I'll be happy to sign it all. Sign me up for a very abbreviated. Are you even going to do anything for Wo Nelly?
I just have one question because we've never hosted a Super Bowl party before. My parents have hosted one for a long time. We go to a bunch all the time, but we're actually hosting a Super Bowl party at our house on Sunday night. What is the one thing you've got to have on the game day spread for a Super Bowl party?
At your house, it's got to be Musty Mac. That's your specialty.
That is kind of our big
your
game
go-to.
tradition. Yeah. But traditional Super Bowl party, is it chicken wings or nacho? Like, what is the thing that you got to have at the Super Bowl party?
You know what the beautiful thing is? I don't think there's one certain thing you have to have. It should be what you're about. But if you're asking me if there's one thing that you have to have, I'm going to say you have to have some type of pizza. I don't think you can do a Super Bowl or big game party without having pizza. And I think right now Pizza Hut has a great little deal going.
The Big New Yorker.
I heard from the Jesse Nelson on the Instagram that you got the Big New Yorker over there at the Pizza Hut there.
Celebrate the big game with the Big New Yorker, huh?
Taco dip.
You sound like kind of a slower version of Sylvester Stallone when you're doing that. I got yourself over there, that Big New Yorker there. Yeah, the Big New Yorker.
Hey, you're pretty good at it, too.
Maybe one of your best voices.
It's not what I would say, but okay.
Yeah, taco dip.
Taco
for the
dip's
big
a
game.
good one. Yeah, it's a good
I
one.
love a good taco dip. All right, that is Wonelli, such that it was. Our Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints, wraps up the week. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, will Sam Darnold finally put the ghost narrative to bed and lift the Lombardi Trophy, or will Drake May lead the Pats to title number 7? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Mark Tauscher here, and you may have heard there's a big football game this weekend. Well, that has me feeling good on a Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. Does your next paint project call for the bold colors of your favorite teams? Like fans this weekend thinking red and white or blue and neon green. Well, for whatever your next project calls for, do what my family did and trust Hallman Lindsay's pro painters to get the job done right. Choosing the pros is the way to go. All you have to do, get connected with them, is to stop into any of Hallman Lindsay's Madison area locations. Ask. They're going to help you find the pro painters best suited for what you need. And remember, Hallman Lindsay Paint is the one paint you can trust to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. Hallman Lindsay, great paint, great people. And stick around for a super edition of Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints.
You, rah, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. The Jump Around crew playing the schedule game collectively agreeing on a winning record for Wisconsin football in 2026. Riley Yauk backing the Badgers, but also expressing cautious optimism ahead of a make-or-break season for Luke Fickell.
This is the easiest schedule you could possibly get. So if Fickell can't get 8 wins this year, I don't think he's ever going to get 8 wins at Wisconsin. This has to be the year to turn it around. Get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. With exclusive features and customized for every home, Pella provides the highest quality products at a price you can afford. Go to PellaWI.com. PellaWI.com.
Super Week 2026 on ESPN Radio. The latest news,
Josh McDaniel and this offense, can you hit some big plays?
predictions, and reaction.
The vibes are immaculate. The energy is in the atmosphere. Everybody's getting ready for the big game. It's awesome.
Everybody is so excited to be here.
Seahawks, Patriots, Cowboys, Rams. Hell yeah.
Super Week 2026.
This is it. We're here.
Live from San Francisco, California.
For the touchdown.
Continues on ESPN Radio. Presented by SoFi.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay.
We don't have much time, so we turn over Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints, to its inventor, Mark Tauscher.
I always love when sports teams and franchises use their platforms to showcase and uplift, and the Wisconsin basketball team did that last weekend in partnership with UW Health and the Children's Hospital with their Suits and Sneakers deal, where they're wearing nice tennis shoes that kids drew. I know Gardo and some of their coaches had that drawn up. I love the fact they had a bunch of patients that are unfortunately over at the Children's Hospital. They got honored out at the court, and I always appreciate that. You see all of the coaches. Gardo did it. The opposing coaches that come in did it. It's fun when you got these guys competing at such a high level, but then they come together to highlight a great cause like that. I loved it. I thought it was great, and it made me feel good on this Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints.
Yeah, and congratulations, too, to Bobby Wagner, longtime NFL linebacker. He was named last night as the Walter Payton Man of the Year. And congratulations to Jordan Love, who was the Packers nominee. We know that he does a lot of things with cleats and everything else. He's been phenomenal in that realm, so we honor those two as well. All right, that's it for us today. I got to call Schneider back. You've got to get to wherever you're going.
I'd like to thank Peter in Lake Geneva, who texted in saying, don't order pizza at halftime and miss the third quarter of the game.
It's very good advice.
Thank you,
Given
Peter.
your
The
track
good news
record.
is the halftime's 6 hours long, so you'll probably be all right.
Rich Eisen, you're next, and you'll be late. But, hey, we got Demovsky out on time. That's really all that matters. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The UW